I'm going to say a couple words to you, and I want you to say the first thing that comes into your mind. Okay, Jason Voorhees. That makes me think of a little girl in a pink dress sticking a hot dog through a donut. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Franchise Deep Dive with Jake and Josh, the podcast where we break down, dissect, and discuss all of your favorite and least favorite movie franchises. I'm Jake.
And I'm Josh, and I'm confused. I don't remember that quote at all.
I'm confused because what the fuck does it even mean?
Did I fall asleep on these movies? I don't even I don't even know what context that is.
It's in Jason Goes to Hell when we first meet Creighton Duke, Jason Voorhees bounty hunter, and they're interviewing him on the TV, and they ask him the first thing that comes to mind when they hear the word Jason Voorhees, and that's his response. So that's fun. I'm really tired. I'm so tired. Yes, guys.
So,
if you did not look at the title of the episode before clicking on, we are in part 3 of our 4-part franchise deep dive of the Friday the 13th series. If you missed the first part, we tackled Friday the 13th part 1, 2, and 3, and then in the second part, we tackled Friday the 13th part 4, the final chapter, Friday the 13th part 5, A New Beginning, and Friday the 13th part 6, Jason Lives. So if you didn't check those out, go check those out, and then you can come back to this episode, or just keep listening. It's fine. But in this one, we are tackling Friday the 13th part 7, The New Blood, Friday the 13th part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, and Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, because they didn't have the rights to the phrase Friday the 13th for that one. So that's cool.
Wonder why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that don't make sense about this entire franchise. And like I want to get pissed off, but I don't have it in me to get pissed off at this point. It's too late in the game.
I wonder why they went with another final subtitle.
And you know what? It's never the end. It just keeps going and going and going.
So when was the last time you watched? Well, no, okay. I can't even talk about Jason Goes to Hell yet, so I have to stay on track.
I will be fully honest. I have not seen 7, 8, or 9 since I was 13 years old.
Okay, cool.
Every time that I've rewatched this series, I always go, yeah, I'm going to finish all of them. And then I hit 6 and I'm like, that was fun. I enjoyed that, but I'm done. I'm good. I don't need any more.
Yeah, that's kind of how it always was for me too, because I didn't remember 7. I remember some parts.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I remember seeing 8 more than 7, but I remembered like nothing from 8 except for the rooftop scene. And Jason Goes to Hell, I might not even seen the whole thing. Like, I didn't remember any of that. So I'm just gonna go with I never saw it.
No pun intended. I'm in the same boat as I remembered like parts of these movies. Like, it's kind of hard to forget the rooftop scene in 8. I remember how 8 ended. I always remember that because I was like, even as a 13-year-old, I was like, that is dumb. And then I remember part 9 because so much absurd shit happens in that movie that I was like, well, it's kind of hard to forget a lot of the dumb shit that goes on in that movie. But yeah, I haven't seen these movies in how old am I? I haven't seen these movies in like 14 years. And now, after revisiting them for this episode, I remember why. I remember why I don't watch these movies.
I don't think I'll ever watch these again alone.
No. I'll never watch these again
I watched
with
them with
people.
Lauren, but she hates these. She could not stand like any of these. She kind of liked 6.
Yeah.
And she kind of liked 5. 4 is when she started to like warm up to it, but she still wasn't sold on it.
It's
but
like
she hates these movies.
It's always when we do like certain franchises where I'm like, watching some of them makes me feel bad and makes me want to go back and be a little nicer to some of the previous ones. But it's like a tale of like, you don't know how bad it can get until you get there. And in hindsight, it's like they always say hindsight's 20/20. And yeah, that is never more apparent than with the Friday the 13th series, as pretty safe to say parts 7 through 9, they're dookie dog shit. And that's already in a franchise where we have not gone higher than like a 6 out of 10 for both of us in terms of rating. It's pretty impressive to say that these are somehow still worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
And that 6 out of 10 is very generous even for you.
very
So,
generous.
like
But
most
it's like,
of them have been in the 4s.
yeah, most of them are like 4s or 5s if they're lucky. But I did give a little bit of credit to the first one because of its influence and because it is such a staple of the genre. But you know what? Some of these 7, 8, and 9, they make the first one look like fucking Citizen Kane at certain points. I'll be honest. Not actually, but I'm just pissed off. But yeah, let's get right into it. We don't want to mince
wanna.
words. We'll get right into the shit, if you will. Starting off with Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, released in 19. That is not right. I did not write that correctly. 1988, I believe. Why did I write 89 in my notes? Okay. Yeah. Friday the 13th, Part 7, released in 1988, directed by John Carl Bucher, a budget of $2.8 million, a box office of $19.8 million, and a Rotten Tomato score of 33%. And before we get into talking about this movie, I would like to start with my favorite trivia fact about it, which is that it was submitted to the MPAA 9 times to avoid an X rating, and to this day stands as the most heavily censored Friday the 13th movie, which explains why the kills are pretty dog shit for most of the movie. And it's really maybe one of the most boring in the franchise, outside of like a 5 to 10 minute sequence towards the end of the film. But by that point, you really don't give that much of a shit. So that's where I'm starting off, at least.
Yeah. All I remember is that there's telekinesis in this one. That's really all I remember from this movie.
Yeah.
How do you feel about them trying to bring more new stuff? Like this feels kind of like 5 a little bit in terms of like them trying to like do something new, because like 4 and 6, they kind of go back. It feels like to the roots, but maybe build around like a story. But 5, they changed it up like the most. That was like the first time they changed it up, really. Mm-hmm. And then 7, they bring like superpowers in it. So like,
I can see where you're coming from with like adding new stuff, and I mean it's no surprise. I'm not the first person to say this. It's very well known in the Friday the 13th community. This movie is essentially Friday the 13th meets Carrie. You know, you bring in a telekinetic female character to kind of combat Jason. And I can give it a little bit of credit for that. And that 5 to 10 minute sequence that I was mentioning a little bit earlier that is rather entertaining is that bit towards the end where you have this female character. Another fucking female character named Tina, because apparently this franchise, the only female name they fucking know is Tina, as this is like the 4th or 5th Tina that we've gotten in this franchise. It's not that hard to like come up with other names. It's really not. There's thousands of female names that you could choose from. Either way, I'm just angry.
This is the last one though that they do the recapping in the beginning. And it wasn't that bad. Like, they still kind of kept it. I thought they were going to go heavy with it when they were like showing the scene, but they kind of just ended it.
It's not as long as the last couple were, or some of them, not the last couple, but some of them were. I will, however, note that while watching it, I was confused because I was like, all right, those are shots from the previous movie. I understand where those come from. But then there were some shots that I didn't remember. And I have a pretty solid memory when it comes to like remembering certain aspects of movies. Come to find out that while reading trivia, that some of these shots in the recap were not from Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives, but from the debut teaser trailer for Friday the 13th Part 6, which featured shots that were not in the movie. but they decided
Which
to
was it?
use. There's one where you see like Jason's. I don't know if it's like an exploding grave. I forget exactly what happens, but you see Jason Voorhees' grave. That shot is not in the last movie. That is strictly from the trailer. And there was one other shot that I didn't remember, but looking it up, the trivia facts had mentioned it. But bringing up Friday the 13th Part 6, kind of going off your note, I thought that this movie tried to kind of go into some of the same territory that the last movie did, whereas that director was trying to sort of capture some of those early Universal monster flicks with like lightning resurrecting Jason and him being more of a. He's always kind of been like an undead killing machine, but I think 6 really takes that and pushes it to the max where it's like, oh, we're going to get very supernatural with this character. Friday the 13th Part 7, I feel like it tries to kind of do that as well, where it's like, oh, we're just going to get really wacky and out there with it. Not sure if you know this, but the film actually had originated or at least like the first idea for the movie, and it'll become a trend, and you'll see in the next couple movies that we talk about in terms of trivia facts that this had initially started out as a Friday the 13th meets Nightmare on Elm Street movie where they were going to take Freddy Krueger and have him fight Jason Voorhees. And when you're watching the movie with that kind of knowledge, some of the scenes start to make sense, especially with like the main character's powers being telekinetic and her having, those sort of abilities and whatnot. But as you'll go on to read in this movie and the next one and the following one, they were not able to come to terms with agreement as Paramount still owned the rights to Friday the 13th and New Line Cinema still had the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy Krueger, and the two studios just could not come to agreement on a script that would satisfy both studios, which makes me believe that it really just came down to like in the pitch meeting room, just both executives and CEOs and whatnot just being like, no, Jason should win. And the other one being like, no, Freddy should win. There's no evidence to support that, but that's the only thing I could think of. And it even lends like more credence to it when you watch Freddy vs. Jason released in 2003. Spoilers. I didn't say spoilers, guys. Spoilers for the Friday the 13th Part 7, 8, and 9. And I guess we're not going to talk about it in these episodes, but Freddy vs. Jason, we said that if we ever do the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, which I'm sure we will at some point, we'll lump Freddy vs. Jason into that. But if you watch that movie, Jason sort of wins, but not really, as like the final shot is a decapitated Freddy winking at the camera, revealing he's still alive.
That was them like on the border of saying, no, yeah, we can't come to an agreement again. They were like, all right, I'll meet you. I'll compromise. We'll give you a wink at the end for Freddy. All right, deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, first movie in the Friday the 13th franchise to feature Kane Hodder as Jason. And up until this recent binge of these movies, I never really had a preference or cared who played Jason. It all kind of felt the same to me. And now I would like to go on record and say, Kane Hodder, you seem like a nice person. I love the passion for the franchise. I love your dedication to horror. It's cool. I hate his Jason. I hate his Jason so very much. From the bulky, ugly design to the way he moves to the way that, and this isn't even his fault, but to the way that they capture the character through cinematography choices, the way that the character just fucking teleports. And not to say that in previous entries in this franchise that there wasn't a couple times where it was like, oh, well, how did he kind of get there so quickly? But there is a shot in this movie where a character is outside. These two go skinny dipping because it's a Friday the 13th movie. So, of course, characters have to go skinny dipping. And it's a guy and a girl. And the girl goes in the water. And the guy is, I don't know if he's about to take his clothes off or not. But he's outside and hasn't gone in. And Jason kills him. And in literally the next shot, not 3 shots down the line, not 2 shots, not 1 shot, or I guess 1 shot, but the very next fucking shot is her in the water, and Jason pops up out of the water behind her and kills her. Like at the snap of your fingers, drop of a dime, just is in the water. Poof.
So can Jason teleport?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, Josh, he's a deadite, so of course,
But like, do they actually ever talk about that? Like, is
The Deadite thing or the teleporting thing?
the teleporting thing?
No.
Like, do they actually specify if he can, or it's just like he could do whatever the fuck he wants? Like, whenever we say.
I am sure that one of these asshole directors of these movies has come up with like a bullshit reason, or I'm sure some fucking dedicated fan on Reddit has come up with a very methodical plan of this is why Jason can do this thing. And you know
I don't
what my
wanna
answer?
get-
They're all idiots.
I don't want to get too sidetracked, but can Michael Myers teleport? Even in the first one.
No, because in the first one, anytime he like disappears, it's always reasonable. It's Laurie's looking out.
Except for one,
Which shot?
the clothesline part. She's looking the entire time.
I thought she looks away. Does she not look away?
No, I don't. I don't think she does. I like because I remember I watched it. I thought she looked away, and maybe she looks down for a second. But still, I mean, like I think she just looks down. Like it's not like in the classroom when she like looks at the teacher.
That's fair.
But I know there's some people that do say like there's like some people that say there is like a supernatural ability to Michael Myers with like teleporting, because that is like a conversation that people have.
Depends on which fucking timeline, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on which timeline. Biggest difference though is Halloween is a good movie, and Friday the 13th Part 7 is dog shit dressed up in cat shit. I hate it. I just, the only thing that I kind of liked in this film in terms of Jason and his look is I didn't mind, because the last film, Friday the 13th Part 6, it ends with them wrapping a chain around Jason's neck and drowning him in the lake, and that's how they kind of defeat him. And in this movie, he has the chain wrapped around him for the entirety of the movie. So I kind of liked that thread of continuity. That's really the only part that I thought was interesting about the way they portrayed him.
What is it that wakes him up again?
Her telekinetic powers.
Yeah, but how does that transmit to him? They like electrocutes him again, right? And it brings him back.
Yeah.
But in the ending, he's already alive. He doesn't need that bolt of energy to like.
Yeah.
Like it shows his eye opened in the last one, but I guess they don't give a shit with.
If it weren't for, you think this one is bad? Let's wait till we get to Jason Goes to Hell in terms of continuity. But no, I if it weren't for trivia facts telling me otherwise, that the cast and crew of usually most of these movies rewatched the previous ones, I would have just assumed that the director and screenwriter for these movies had just never seen a Friday the 13th movie before in their lives and just didn't watch the last one. Because
sounds like the Academy.
No, Josh, now they have to watch the movies.
Oh.
It's okay because now when people want to be like, well, Denis Villeneuve didn't win. Did he even get nominated for Best Director for Dune Part 2? No, he didn't. I don't think he did, because Josh Brolin was like, if he doesn't get nominated, I'm retiring from acting. And I don't think that's happening. I think we will continue to see Josh Brolin in movies. But either way, fuck the Oscars. Either way. So, I have a cool fun fact. I'm just trying to avoid talking about the plot of this movie. In 1988, it was the first year in which all three of the, at the time, top horror series, that being Halloween, Friday the 13th, and A Nightmare on Elm Street, all released new films in the same year. That being, of course, Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Master, and Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And also, it's the year that the first Child's Play came out, 1988, directed by Tom Holland, the director, not Spider-Man, as well as Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. So, I guess if you were a horror fan in the 1980 or 1988, probably a fun year for horror movies. Not that I like all of those, but I like Hellraiser 2, and I don't like the fifth. Is that the fourth or the fifth Nightmare on Elm Street?
I couldn't tell you. I'm so like, I have very little knowledge of the Nightmare sequels, to be honest, except for like New Nightmare.
Dream Warrior is number 3. I know that. because they have that kick-ass song that's like Dream Warriors.
I remember some parts of that, but yeah, the other ones, like, I just have to rewatch some of them.
I
And some
like
of them I just have to see.
It's so funny with Nightmare on Elm Street because the best three are the first one, which is directed by Wes Craven, the third one, Dream Warriors, which is written by Wes Craven, and New Nightmare, which is also directed by Wes Craven, and arguably every single other one is dog shit.
You've seen all of them?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have not.
Oh, you never got to see Freddy Krueger play Nintendo.
I actually think I have seen that.
That
But like,
clip.
see, I remember parts from like a lot of the movies, but I could not pinpoint which ones they're from.
The best part about the second Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street is how unintentionally gay it is, and how all of the people behind it are like, "What do you mean it's gay?" Well, I don't know. There's a scene of the school like gym teacher getting his bare ass whipped in a shower. I don't. What are we? There's a scene where the main character is like smacking his ass against the wall, like just bumping. Like, what do you mean? Whatever. I love how we're just avoiding talking about this movie.
Well, so do you want me to read the plot?
Oh
From,
shit, we didn't read the plot synopsis.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Let me read this one. Jason Voorhees is accidentally freed from his watery prison by a telekinetic teenager. Now, only she can stop him. Yeah.
I love how the movie starts because you hear like the sound effect of the main character, who is a little girl at the start of the film, and her father just like smacks the shit out of her mom, and you hear it. And never have I ever in my life not even seen an actor, like, you just hear the audio at first, and all I could think of was, that's one of the worst line deliveries I've ever heard. Like, that's on par with Gal Gadot in Justice League when she's like, Kal-El, no. It's
Wait,
like
which
that
line are you
level
talking
of
about?
bad. I didn't even write it down. I might have wrote it down. Oh, yeah, I did write it down because it's my second note. After, oh great, another recap. Isn't this exactly what part 4 did? But my second note, my first legit note, was the quote. It's an exchange because the mom, also a terrible actress, goes, "Please don't drink anymore." And the dad goes, "Don't tell me what to do." And that's when you hear the slapping noise. And then the little girl who'll become our lead, she kills her dad with her telekinetic powers. But don't worry, it's not the last we see of the abusive father. He actually becomes the hero at the end.
She feels very, very, very sorry.
I can tell by how much she was emoting. Very good performance by that kid actress. Just so good. I was so happy with that. That was awesome. This movie sucks.
I like that the synopsis.
You don't like
says
anything.
now,
You don't like a thing in this movie. Don't lie.
only she can stop him. Says who? Says who and why? Why
Yeah.
can she only stop him?
Tommy Jarvis would like to have a word with you.
What
You
happens
idiot.
to Tommy? Do they ever mention Tommy?
No, but I'll drop this fact now. The character in 9, I think his character's name is like Steven in the movie, right? The guy with the glasses. That was supposed to be Tommy Jarvis originally. You know why it's not Tommy Jarvis?
Why?
They didn't own the rights to the character Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Let me look through my notes because I'm like, this is the most I've struggled to remember.
My first note, honestly, this is crazy. I didn't really take that many on this note. So how do you feel about the sleeping bag kill? Because that's like the main one I remember.
Yeah. So a lot of fans love this kill, and I like it. You know me. I love a good blunt force trauma kill. One of my favorite, probably top 5 kills in horror movie slasher history is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The first kill of that movie. Love it. Excellent kill. And the sleeping bag in this one, it's cool. It's creative. I like it. It's different. It's not him just stabbing somebody like we've seen a dozen times over in this franchise. However, they kind of ruin it for me because they cut it into two shots. So you have the scene, you have the shot of Jason dragging the girl out of the tent in the sleeping bag, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like they're gonna show this in its entirety. And then right before he picks the sleeping bag up to swing it against the tree to kill her, it cuts. And in the shot before, it's clear that there's a girl in it, an actual actress squirming in the bag, and then they cut, and then it's clear that there's just like a dummy inside the bag. And that's what kind of ruined the kill for me. Whereas my favorite kills in this franchise are the ones where even if I can kind of tell it's an effect, there's at least a little bit of a layer of believability in the visual effects, or it doesn't take me out of it. Whereas like the way that scene was edited, and I have issues with just every single technical aspect of this movie, and not to say that any of the previous Friday the 13th movies are good in terms of like cinematography or direction or editing, but in this one, the editing, and oh my god, I feel bad for giving the actress in part 6 any grief, because holy fuck, the main girl in this one is awful. But I don't mean to go on a tangent. How do you feel about the sleeping bag kill? Does it still kind of hold
Well,
up
so
for
I'm,
you, or
I told Jake before we watched it. I remember it being longer, and he told me that there is an extended one. Um, so it didn't actually land as much for me as it used to. But I still do like it. I'm watching it again because you mentioned the cut. Are you saying like when it cuts to him, it just like cuts to him kind of like fidgeting, and then it goes back to the wide shot?
yeah,
Because
well,
he,
there's a cut in between when he's dragging her initially, when you see
yeah,
her squirming, and then when he actually swings the
right,
bag. And so I was like, all right, it's clearly not an actress in the bag. If they would have done that all in like one take, and I feel like the only way to do it in 1988 is to have an animatronic in the bag and have someone working the controls so that it looks like someone's squirming in there. I feel like that would have probably logistically been the only way to do it in one take without having to cut it. And it's like, listen, I understand it's not a big budget movie. It's what, like a $2.8 million budget, which is not crazy or anything. I don't know though, because no, I can't even give it any credit, because the first movie came out 8 years prior, had $500,000, and the Tom Savini special effects in that movie are leagues better than anything that you get in this movie. Like leagues better in terms of just like visual flair, prosthetics, gore effects, all of it just looks so much better in that first movie. And it had way less money, and again came out 8 years prior.
yeah. I do think this is. I like Kane Hodder the most in this one, I think, than the next two.
Mm.
Um, however, I feel like I remember Jason Takes Manhattan. I remember that Jason the most when I was younger. Like when I thought of Jason, that's kind of what I imagined, the fucking soaking wet nonstop, and the it's like a gold, like it's like a very like brown gold mask. It's very
Yeah.
like it's a yellow, and I kind of like I don't know. I feel like I remember that one the most, but I think I like him the
Yeah.
most in this one.
They do an okay job over the course of the franchise, I guess, of progressively making him look more and more deteriorated. And I do have to give credit. I remember when I was watching that documentary for the previous episode, which covered all of the Friday the 13th movies, so it wasn't specific to those set of films. But I do remember, I think it was a producer or a VFX artist, or it might have been Kane Hodder. It was somebody. I cannot even remember who it was in the documentary, but they were like, yeah, why does Jason look inconsistent in terms of his like look when he takes off his mask? And I was so expecting like a bullshit response for them to be like, well, this is what happens in this movie and this is the continuity. But the person was like, there's a different VFX team on every movie. That's why. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for the fucking honesty. No bullshit reason, no excuses, no lore that you're just adding in for the sake of adding in lore. Just honesty. They're movies. Yes, it's cool if you can link it in a canonical sense, or you can add some bit of lore that makes sense within the realm of the story, but I like the honesty. Yes, there's a different VFX team in every movie, and it's a different actor portraying Jason in most of these. They're going to look different. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I am much more forgiving, though. The only thing that I'm probably more forgiving of in this franchise than, per se, something like Halloween is I'm fine with Jason looking different visually in terms of like his build and his size and the way he looks without his mask on. That's fine. I don't care as much. But in Halloween, how do they constantly fuck up the mask? How do you
It's
constantly
so
fuck
easy.
up the Michael Myers mask? That has got to be the simplest fucking thing to do. That should be the first thing. Before you start writing the movie, that should be the first fucking thing. Have the mask. And have it not look stupid. Don't show me that picture. Do not show me that picture. Does that have the one where he's got blonde hair for that one shot in H2O?
No, no. But let me
Fucking
tell you, I
Christ.
I love the eyebrows.
Yeah, they were like, that's the thing. It's not even like, oh, hey, we couldn't get the same mask. You made changes. He's got fucking eyebrows in one of them.
He looks real. Is that? Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah.
He looks like a real sad boy in 4. 5, 5. He really looks fucked up.
It sucks
Like
because I like a lot of elements of the fourth Halloween movie. Like, I really do. But my God, that mask. It's one of the worst masks, too. That's the only thing I will give that new god awful David Gordon Green trilogy any credit for is they were able to get the mask right. And I guess the first Rob Zombie Halloween, the mask looks fine, I guess. I
they don't
liked
have that
one.
one in this picture.
Oh, I like one. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was looking at my notes. I had something. Oh, there's one joke in the movie that I kind of like. So there's this like really nerdy guy in the movie, and he's talking about like sci-fi stuff all the time. And if you thought some of the characters were razor thin and just cardboard fucking characters in some of the previous ones, this may be one of the worst casts in the entire franchise. Holy shit. I will at least give Jason Goes to Hell some more credit. The cast in that is a little bit more fucking memorable than these
Yeah,
absolute dumpster fire characters in this
I'll
one.
give. Yeah, I'll give that to
But
that.
there's a nerdier character who's very into sci-fi, and he's always talking about sci-fi. And at one point, the mean girl of the movie, and there is almost a carbon copy Mean Girl in this one, and then in 8. Like, I had to do a double take because I thought it was the same person. They just cast another mean blonde girl in the 8th one.
Oh that's right. I kind of They were
Yeah.
like blending together in my head.
No, and for good reason, because they're the
Yeah.
same fucking character. But
I'm trying to remember her in 7.
she's the one who she wants to sleep with the guy who likes
She
to
hooks. She like hooks up like the first stages with the guy, and then she's like
with
yeah,
the
no, you
nerdy
just don't-
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I was leading into, was like
Oh
tries
God,
to
that's
make
fucked up.
she tries to make the guy that she actually likes jealous by like trying to fuck this nerdy guy, and he's like, they're so aggressively over the top with how incompetent he is at sex. Like, he looks like he's trying to like maul her. Like, you know that scene in The Revenant where the bear attacks Leo DiCaprio? It's like that. And he's just going at it, and she's like, "No, you just don't turn me on." And he goes downstairs and he's opening gifts because they're all there for this party, I guess, of the main love interest of the movie, his cousin, who never makes it. He's one of the first kills. Go fucking figure. And yeah, so he's opening up these gifts, and the card says penis enlarger, or personal penis enlarger, and he takes out what the gift is, and it's a magnifying glass. And that got the most pathetic half-assed chuckle out of me.
Dude, I forgot about the penis enlarger.
I thought that was kind of funny.
I in my head I'm trying. I need to be better with ranking these because I know we're to do the rankings for as a Friday the 13th movie. I'm trying to remember the nudity. I think there's just one. No, I'm thinking of 8. I actually think the nudity is pretty good in this one. There's the girl in the lake.
Yeah, the girl in the lake is she gets a little naked.
Yeah.
She gets a little
No, she
naked.
get no. It shows little bush there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We do get a little
Yeah.
bush. That's always
Yeah.
fun. That's what you want out of like an 80s slasher. If there's no bush, I'm not buying. I was just really taken aback by, again, how fucking god awful the acting is. And that's how you know this is like bad, because I haven't really pointed out how bad the acting is in most of these movies outside of like maybe 5 and 6. But holy shit, just some like lines of dialogue. And the way I'm going to read them is how the characters deliver them. So I already did the one at the beginning with the mom and dad. And then you have, oh, so we didn't mention in the film, they're going back to the house where this whole incident happened, where Tina killed her father as a kid. And they're going back up there after she gets out of the insane asylum, and they're going to meet her doctor. And her doctor is very clearly up to some shit. He's trying to provoke her to use her telekinetic powers. And she has this interaction with him earlier on in the movie. Let me see if I can find it in my notes. Oh, yeah, I didn't even put quotes. That's why it was hard to find. So he's trying to convince her that it's a hallucination that she's having, because she keeps having these visions. And she goes, and again, this is how they deliver it in the movie. I'm not delivering it dry just to be dry. It wasn't a hallucination. Yes, it was. No. That's how it's performed in the film. And you can go watch it if you do not believe me. And then later on in the film, there is a scene where Tina is using her telekinetic powers, like towards the end of the film. And her love interest of the movie, I couldn't tell you his name. I forget. It's probably like Rick or Derek or Sean or something. But she starts using her powers. And in the most could not care, this is not impressive to me way, he goes, "What are you talking about?" And then she starts using her powers, and he goes, "My God, that's you." As if she's not using telekinetic powers. As if this is something he sees on a random Tuesday. Oh, this is, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Another reason I hate Kane Hodder's Jason. This is the most vocal Jason of all of them. Like, he has, like, he makes noises.
No. Not more than 9.
It's still Kane Hodder. I'm talking about Kane Hodder's Jason.
Oh, I thought you meant this movie. He makes the most
No,
noise.
no. I mean, like Kane
Oh
Hodder's
yeah,
he goes on to play in him in
dude.
7,
His
8,
Michael
9.
Myers breathing is crazy. He gives Michael a run for his money.
Dude, there's the breathing, and then there's a part, and it's actually pretty cool, where it's towards the end. It's during the big climax fight with Tina and Jason. She's using her telekinetic powers, and I'm good to talk about this fight and then move on to the next one, unless there's more for you to say.
I'm struggling to talk about this one.
Yeah.
It's the first one we watched. They blend together. I'll be able to talk about 8 and 9 a little better.
I'll be able to talk about 9. I don't have much to say about 8. I hate that movie more than most things. So they're having this psychic fight, and there's some cool parts when they're outside, and Tina, she's using branches to attack Jason. She's like manipulating them. There's a part where she uses the telekinetic powers to like use like a power line to electrocute Jason, and when he's in like this puddle of water, and like, you know, shock him and stuff. So there's some cool parts. There's a later point where she uses knives, like she uses the powers to like send knives at Jason to impale him. The part that I probably like the most is when she starts causing his mask to constrict on his head, the hockey mask, and she's using her telekinetic powers to make it like tighten on his head. And that's when it like bursts, and that's when you get, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a zombie. Like, I know in the last movie he's kind of a zombie, but in this one it's like he's been a zombie
like
for a long time at this point. He's like decaying.
He's kind of like a zombie in almost like Return of the Living Dead, like that kind,
Yes.
kind of like kind of silly.
Brains. We need brains. I love that movie. But yeah, there's one there in terms of his noise. There's one part where she knocks him down the stairs, and you just hear Jason go, "Ooh!"
You're lying.
No,
No
I'm telling
way.
you. I wrote it in my notes. I wrote it in my notes. I was laughing so hard. She like knocks him down the stairs, or I forget if it's when she knocks him down the stairs, or like there's a part where she knocks him like through the stairs. Like she raises him and like shoots him through the staircase down into the
Yeah,
basement.
yeah. Is it when he's like hanging by the
Yeah,
wire?
she tries to like hang him with the wire, and then she like shoots him down. And he just goes ooh. It reminded me of you had pointed out the blind mice in the Shrek movies and the little
That's so
noises
good.
he makes. It actually added like you could replace the sound effect of the blind mice with Jason in this movie, and it'd be the same experience.
Oh. uh.
And
Let me see.
yeah, I don't know if you have any. I have one last note after this, something I had mentioned a little earlier, but not sure if you have any
I have
notes
a
or.
Yeah, I have a small note, something I liked. It was very quick, so it's very minor. But I
Yeah.
did like, I forget who it is that's walking through the house. It's very dark, stormy, lightning, and I like that they position Jason in the corner of the room, so when lightning flashes the room, like he's just standing there like watching. I thought that was like a nice like moody part. That it
Sure.
kind of reminded me a little bit of like 4, how that like really nails down like the darkness and like kind of like plays with light. But that's kind of it. That's like the main thing I remember for like, oh, they did a creative like blocking scene here where they like, they framed it well. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I did like that part. And I just have when the doctor blocks uh himself with the mom and she just dies.
Yeah.
I just was not expecting that, but you know.
I was
Uh
so confused at the implementation of the doctor character in this. Not as confused as the uncle character in the next film, but we'll get to that. Yeah, I had to mention since you pointed out a scene that you liked in terms of like lighting. I think this is the worst looking Friday movie, without question. As every single scene in this movie, and I know they probably filmed in a real woods, but every scene in this movie is lit and shot like a fucking soundstage. It'll be fully nighttime, and the characters will be in the middle of the woods, and they are completely engrossed in light as if it is daytime. It is so hideous looking. There is not. I'm glad you like that one shot, but in terms of like cinematography, there is not one thing in this movie that I was like, oh yeah, I liked that. I hated everything from the way this movie looked to the direction to the way it was shot. The music is dog shit. I mean, the music's not good in any of them, but oh, I think this was the first one. It had to have been. So, did we ever talk about how the Jason sound, the ma, 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 did we
mhm.
talk about that in the previous episodes?
the the first one we did.
Okay, so it's known that the composer he meant for it to be kill 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 mom mom mom, which
Yeah.
ended up being ki 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 ma ma ma. And for the first couple movies, I was like, yeah, I can kind of hear it. It's clearly not clearly, but I can kind of hear the K sound at the beginning of it. It's not cha 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 like a lot of people think. And then I watched this movie with headphones, mind you, and there is a part where instead of the normal like ki, 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 ma ma ma, it goes and I at that point wanted to throw myself out of the window. Like it is a full on like ch 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 noise, not like
You know
ma ma ma. It was so there's
what's
that.
funny is that yeah, it was this one. It was 7. When we watched it, Lauren was like, she's like, "Oh, I can kind of hear the key sound instead of the ch," because she was like, "I can't hear it. Like I can only hear ch. It sounds like ch," and I'm like, "Yeah, no. I mean, it kind of does to me too. Even though like I know it is, I try to listen for it. I don't always hear it. I
Yeah.
hear ch." And when we were watching it, she's like, "Oh, I kind of hear the K sound more." So that was funny that you said the exact opposite. That this is the first time you heard the. But I think it was a
Well,
different part. I don't think it was the fast one.
Lauren
It was
liked
like in
Shrek 4, so
yeah.
kidding, Lauren. If you listen, I know you don't, but I'm kidding. My last note. I am very happy and pleased that the drunk, abusive father is the hero of the movie. And at the end of the film, when Jason is about to kill Tina, he pops back up and drags Jason back down to the bottom of Crystal Lake. Oh, also, last note. Uh, Pretty sure in the last couple of movies they went out of their way to say that it is not called Camp Crystal Lake anymore. That they fully changed the name of the town and the camp and all of that stuff, and it's not called that anymore. And then in this one and preceding films, it's back to being called Crystal Lake, to the point where in the ninth one there's a sign that says Crystal Lake. So that's cool.
The hell are you gonna do?
Yeah, but
Never
at
watch
least
this again?
but at least in this one, they don't try to convince me that Camp Crystal Lake has a passageway for a giant, large cruise ship to enter. So that's, yeah, cool.
I'm curious to know if you dislike this one more than 8, and I think I know the answer, but I'm really not sure at this point.
If I had a choice between 7 and 8, I would choose physician-assisted suicide. So,
Wow.
hope that answers the question. Yeah. This is episodes and episodes and episodes ago, guys. There was a point where me and Josh, before we had planned on doing this, Josh said that a majority of the Friday the 13th movies are fun. And I'm assuming at this point he means that fun stops at 6.
You know what? No, I don't. Because no. If you have a group, it changes it so much. It just changes it.
All right. Shall we move on?
Yes.
All right. Do you want to take a break or just power through?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, guys. We are going to be moving on to the next film in the franchise. That is, of course, the beloved Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Released in 1989. Directed by Rob Hedden. A budget of $5 million. A box office of 14.3 mil, which I believe is the lowest in the franchise. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the lowest box office. And a Rotten Tomatoes score of 11%.
How about I read the synopsis? Let's just get that over with, huh?
Knock it out. Knock it out of the park, buddy.
But you have to answer a question before I read it. We didn't talk. Is he's not watery in the 7th, right? He's dry.
Yeah, he's a dry boy.
He's dry. Because they put emphasis on his watery prison in the 7th synopsis on IMDb. They mention his watery prison. So let me just read this one. Jason Voorhees is accidentally awakened from his watery grave and ends up stalking a ship full of graduating high school students headed to Manhattan. So this one, they I mean, they don't do it. It's IMDb, but I think IMDb is just, playing on the fact that this guy does not dry off in this movie. He is wet the entire runtime, and it's unbelievable. He's only in the water like one time.
Josh, he can't
Twice.
be. He's afraid of water.
Oh my God.
I know this because I've seen Freddy vs. Jason. If you put Jason near water, he has a panic attack, Josh, and reverts to a little boy.
He freezes. Speaking of little boy, how many appearances do we get in this one, Jake?
Dude, it had to have been like 8 different times.
I think 18.
I have the funniest fact about that, right? So guys, while Josh was watching this, I had already watched it the other night, but I had made a note that I love how so in this film, the lead character, her name is Rennie, and as Josh mentioned in the synopsis, it is about a group of high school graduates who are headed on their way to Manhattan via a boat. And so the main character, her name is Rennie, and I believe it's her uncle who is her caretaker because her parents died when she was a kid, and then he pushed her out of a boat. We'll get to that. But it's her uncle, and I think he's like the dean or the principal of the school, which he's a pretty bad principal because at one point he's getting it on with a student. But I don't know where I was going with that. Where was I going with that? Oh, just talking about the plot. Oh, the little boy thing. Yeah, so this character has visions of like little kid Jason, and it's in part because when she was pushed out of the boat as a kid because her uncle was trying to teach her to swim, he told her the story of Jason and how he drowned as a little boy because he didn't know how to swim. So that's fun. So she has these visions of little kid Jason, and every single time you see kid Jason, at least to me, he looks like a different kid every single time.
Is he? Because I think he is.
Well,
he has to be.
that leads to my trivia fact. At one point, I had to point out to Josh, too, that he, in one scene, looks like the little Asian boy from The Grudge, which
Yeah,
I thought
I
was
couldn't believe it.
hilarious. Where is it? Oh, fuck. Okay, here it is. The original child actor cast as Jason struggled with underwater scenes. Luckily, the editor, Steve Merkovich's similarly aged son, Tim Merkovich, was visiting the set that day and was able to play the part. So
My
I'm not
God.
crazy. So I'm not crazy.
Ah.
Also,
much,
I thought Kid Jason was bald. He has hair in this. Is he not
I think he's bald.
bald?
I think he's bald in one of the versions of him in this movie. Right?
One of the
I think he-
fucking 20.
I think he loses his hair in one flash. But so, can you please explain the flashes to me? Because they're like, are they visions? Like, because they're pretty real.
So
She actually gets like drugged down the water. I don't know what else can make her like.
and her dog reacts at one point.
Yeah, her dog sees the vision.
Yeah. So what the fuck are we doing? This movie sucks. This movie sucks so hard. It's so bad, and I hated every second of it.
Well, hold on. Let's play devil's advocate a little bit here.
Yeah. You'd have to be the devil to fucking support this movie.
I didn't remember that it was the hour and 4 minute timestamp that they arrived, that they're in New York.
Yes.
I had no idea it took that long. I had no idea it was mostly on board the ship. But
Well,
I will say, not that I was that entertained by this movie, because it was a lot more boring than I remember. I really thought this was a lot more fun.
Oh, so
But
boring.
I really think it hits different when you're watching it alone. Like, I don't
Well,
know.
not all of us have girlfriends, Josh. Some of us have to watch this at 2:30 in the morning after work.
She hates these movies though, so it's almost like, I mean, she's
That's
like miserable
torture.
watching them. Yeah, she's like she's so far deep into it that she's like, oh my God, do we have to watch that? And I'm like, you really don't have to. She's like, no, put it on.
She's like, I
However, she
have
didn't-
to see how the story plays out.
She didn't watch 9 because like it just got too crammed. I watched it really early in the morning today.
Oh,
But
she
yeah,
didn't get to watch 9?
No, and she might have had fun with that.
That
Maybe I'll
sucks.
have
It's
to watch
so
it.
much
I
better
don't-
than it's so much better than 7 and 8.
I don't want to watch it again though. Oh,
It's okay.
Someday I'll have to watch it.
you can just fill her in on what happens.
Yeah. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. Devil's Advocate. There's a coziness to the cabins on the ship. Like, you know, it's I'm not the atmosphere is not that bad. It really isn't. Like, I know your anticipation is New York, so you're like let down by every scene, and it is pretty boring. Like, there's a lot of, but all right, I'll be honest with the crowd here. Not that I think they care, but I did watch this movie. A lot of it, not all of it. A lot of it at 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
I watched 25 minutes of it, and I stopped it. Didn't know what time it stopped at, but I stopped it. And I was like, I'll come back to it. I'll go run an errand. So, you know, I go to the store, do what I have to do, come back. I'm like, okay, let's put this back on. I thought it was another 10 minutes that I was watching, another 10, 15 minutes. And I look at the timestamp, and it's 25 minutes in, and I'm like, well, I thought I was at least 50 minutes in. This is insane. And I said, I can't do this. And I texted Jake. I'm like, is it like, I forget what I asked you, but
No.
am I not really being, you know, honest if I watch it at 1.5 speed. And he said, watch it whatever speed you want.
I did the inverse. I watched it at -1.5 speed. It was 3 hours long.
It felt like it.
Dude, did you know this is the longest one? Runtime wise?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I saw hour 40, but
yeah.
I didn't know if
So it's an hour 40. The other ones are all 90 minutes, excluding the remake. I think the remake is the longest one, but in the original 10 that came out, you know, the first one up to Jason X, this one is the longest. But yeah, the remake I think is like an hour 46 or something like that.
Okay.
So I don't want people to think that I'm just mean for mean's sake. So I found a trivia fact that if you're like, oh, it's just a movie, like they're probably nice people who made it. I found a trivia fact that allows you to hate the movie for being awful, not just as a movie. And this is on the DVD commentary from Crystal Lake Memories, The Complete History of Friday the 13th from 2013. Actor Lee Coleman was the original actor playing Sean Robertson, who's one of the characters. A couple of weeks later, after filming had started, he was let go. Do you want to take a guess why he was let go?
I have no clue.
Cool. So, according to the producers, he was let go because he came off as too gay in the dailies and had no romantic chemistry with the female lead, Rennie. So Scott Reeves was then hired to replace him, and they reshot all of the scenes that Lee had played.
Wonder what that costed them.
Yeah, I don't know. He was too gay. Too gay.
Wow. Well, I mean, you know.
See, a real movie like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, embraces the gay.
That's great. Do you think they told him that?
I hope not.
I feel like they did.
Hey, why wasn't I in the movie? You came off a little too gay. Sorry.
Is that in the IMDb trivia?
Yeah. But apparently it came off of like the trivia fact came off of like a documentary. So it was said in the documentary, which is fun. I have another cool trivia fact. In 1989, so obviously like when the film came out, it marked the second year in a row where entries from three biggest slasher series of the decade, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween, were released in the same year as Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child, and Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers all came out that year.
What did the worst?
Financially or critically?
Financially.
Oh.
I wonder. Let's see.
I'm going to guess Jason Takes Manhattan.
You think?
Yeah. Let's see.
Halloween.
I will say Halloween 5 is probably my least favorite Halloween movie.
No, Halloween did worse.
Really?
11.6 million.
Ooh. God
and,
damn. That sucks.
Which Nightmare on Elm Street? Was it
Dream Child?
I feel like that one might have done the worst. Let's see. Nope, it did the best. 22 million.
Let's go, Dream Child. Awesome. So the Freddy craze was still alive, but sorry, Michael Myers and Jason.
Dude,
you ain't
Metacritic
shit.
Does not hate. They do not hate the Nightmare series as much, though. I will say, at least Dream Child.
I'd have to rewatch him. It's been a minute. I usually only watch 1, 3, and New Nightmare if I'm watching any Nightmare movies. Those are the ones that I like.
Final Nightmare is like the worst one in terms of like Metacritic.
Apologies to the fans if you can hear gunshots outside.
I couldn't hear anything.
My window's closed. Yeah, so I want to give some credit. I want to give some credit. The director of the film, I believe it was the director. It might have been the screenwriter. One of the two they had initially planned for a majority of the film to take place in New York. That was the original idea. After what I had already mentioned earlier, which was again to try to do a Freddy versus Jason movie, but they still could not agree on who would win, I guess. So they decided to take Jason out of his element, which is the whole Camp Crystal Lake setting, which is fine. You know, what am I trying to say? I like trying to do something different. Whereas I kind of liked how part 7 it did add the telekinetic thing. Oh, also, that was another thing. So not only was part 7 titled The New Blood as a way to separate itself from the Tommy Jarvis storyline that had continued from part 4 through 6, but originally Tina, the telekinetic woman from the previous film, was going to be the lead of like a new trilogy of films. And to the point where the director of part 7, he had started writing a script that would continue her story, and I believe, if I remember correctly from what I read, it would have taken place after she had been recommitted to the insane asylum, and she would have been brought out of it, and she would have had to go toe to toe with Jason again. And that's all I kind of had read about that. The actress who played Tina in the previous movie and her boyfriend at the time had started writing their own version of Friday the 13th Part 8, wherein Tina would have become a psychologist and would have tried helping younger people. And there was a third person who started writing a script. Oh, I think that might have been the Freddy versus Jason idea. But then that all got scrapped, and obviously we got Jason Takes Manhattan. Like I said, originally the plan was for a majority of the film to take place in Manhattan. And another fun fact, while a couple of scenes were actually filmed in Manhattan, Kane Hodder himself had pointed out that it was a really cool experience during some of the filming taking place in Manhattan, because a long line of Friday the 13th fans were there, obviously not on set, but near the set. And there would be points where in between takes, Kane Hodder would just look over at the fans and they would all go crazy. So that was probably a really cool experience. However, most of the scenes that aren't very obviously taking place in Manhattan, so some of the street alleys and subways and stuff like that, that was all shot in Vancouver. So much so that a lot of the cast and crew on the set of the film were referring to the film as Jason Takes Vancouver, because that's where most of it was shot. So that's cool. So I do feel a little bad for the director. Not that I think this movie is well directed by any stretch of the imagination. However, obviously there's a little bit of better lighting choices. I always think that lighting interior scenes is a lot easier than trying to light outdoor scenes. So a lot of 7 takes place outdoors, and I had a lot of issues with that. Whereas this one, so much of it takes place on the boat that, I can kind of forgive some of the shittier lighting choices. I did think it was really funny though when Jason he just pops up onto the anchor, like right before the boat is about to depart Crystal Lake and head out. He just pops up out of the water and grabs onto the rope, and it just lends to what I had said earlier about how goofy Kane Hodder's Jason is portrayed in these movies. He's so silly and goofy. It harkens back to part 2, where Jason is just a goofball, falling over and stumbling and stuff. I can't take him seriously ever in these movies.
Why does he he's he fucks with people a little too much? It seems like, I don't know. I don't remember him doing that ever. Why does he even entertain the boxer?
I don't know. How many times do you think the boxer punches him?
20?
59.
No, he doesn't. Oh, wait, the little jabs, the little stomach jabs.
Yeah. 59 times he hits Jason.
No way, though.
Before
really?
Before Jason goes, yep, now's the time. And I will say, that is one of the more fun and creative kills in the franchise. I know it's one that a lot of fans like the sleeping bag kill kind of point to. My issue with it, again, was VFX-wise, the way that it's cut and shot and edited. It just takes away from the overall impact of the kill, whereas I look back at, again, Friday the 13th Part 1, the first film, the decapitation of Pamela Voorhees looks a lot better. and it's not as fun or cheeky as Jason punching this guy's head off. It's not as kind of self-aware, but in terms of like an actual visual effect and a kill, Pam Voorhees looks a lot better, if you ask me.
But trying to see some notes here. Susie in the beginning when she's hiding from Jason, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're a guy that hates pranks. You hate what the fuck's his name from 3?
Fucking Shelly.
Shelly. You hate Shelly. You hate his
I
pranks
hate
and jokes.
Shelly.
How much did you hate the boyfriend of Susie in the beginning?
Is that the opening kill?
Yeah.
The couple.
When
that girl was cute. There you get a little bit of nudity with her. Oh, wait, he does the Jason prank after telling her the story of Jason.
The jammy Jason.
Yeah. No, I was very excited to see that guy die after that.
No, I'm saying, yeah, how do you feel about it? Oh, yeah, because, you hated the prank.
Yeah, you know what the fucking difference is, Josh? That guy's in the movie for 5 minutes. Shelly is in it for entirely too long. If Shelly had been the opening kill, I would have less problems with Shelly. But Shelly is an asshole and is in the movie for like an hour. And you don't even get to see him die on screen. That's fucked up. Give me the cut where Shelly dies on screen. Fuck Shelly. I hate that character.
But Susie can't act. I mean, a lot of them can't. But like
none
when she's
of these
hiding,
people can act.
When she's hiding, she's like laughing. She's like, I was like, is she really smiling right now? She's like, it's like someone just told her a joke. And I love that Jason like opens the door. I feel like there's space where she could try to move around, and she just stands there and says no, please, and she doesn't even try to move. And he like slowly.
It's fucking horrible.
I hate that he slowly goes down with the whatever that thing is. He like just like goes real slow, then he just jabs.
Yeah, dude. Outside of the punching the head off, the kills in this movie are fucking awful too. They are just not.
I was trying to look
watch.
I was trying to look at the list if there's like.
But before you bring that up, I'm glad you brought up that opening scene with the little prankster guy, because he says a line that summarizes the entire franchise. He says, he's telling the story to this girl who, again, this is the 8th Jason movie. They are on Crystal Lake, and she has never heard of Jason Voorhees, who at this point has presumably killed 70, 80 people, possibly. Either way, he says this line. Yeah, and every now and again, the murders just start up for some reason. And that summarizes this whole franchise. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. It just sort of happens.
I like that I think this scene starts with him. He's kind of scared because he's thinking about the history of Jason. And that's when he informs her of the stories. And then it's like, he like gaslights her. He makes it seem like she was the one that was scared. He's like, well, don't be scared. They're just stories. It's like, I'm sorry. Didn't you start the scene being like scared shitless? And like she asked you what was wrong. Yeah. And then you tell her the story, and then you're like, well, don't worry, Susie. They're just stories. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I do love Jamie Jason, though.
It was all right. You know what my first note is? Oh boy, shots of New York. I can't wait to see Jason in it. Yeah. I will say, I lied. The molten rock kill is kind of cool. I thought that was fine.
Yeah, the sauna rock.
I thought that was fine.
When he's
we get our
a lot of harpoon kills,
yeah.
I feel like.
Nowhere near as good as the one from part 3 though.
No.
Still one of my favorite kills in this franchise. I think about that kill all the time when watching these movies. We get another imitation Ralph, the Doom guy from the first 2 Friday the 13th movies.
Oh my god.
That's fun.
I couldn't stand him.
I did forget to mention that actor who plays Ralph in the first 2. He is the opening narration or the opening narrator of part 7, and it was the last movie he was involved with before the actor passed away. Yeah. Oh, Jason is a hero in this movie. Yeah, Rennie. Jason's a hero in this movie.
Yeah.
At one point, some hoodlums are trying to shoot Rennie up with heroin and assault her sexually in an alleyway. and Jason kills him and lets Rennie escape. So Jason's a hero now.
He's a good guy.
I love the messages in these movies. In the last one, we had the abusive, asshole, alcoholic father coming back to save the day. And in this one, Jason is a hero. That is
Rennie,
storytelling.
How much do you think she hated that stupid Statue of Liberty necklace? Because I fucking hated it. It was so big and like it was so gaudy. Oh my god! I was like, oh, that's what you got her. Just get her like, I don't know. I hated that. It was so large.
Well, the thing that confused me the most about Rennie in this movie is her whole dynamic with her uncle, because her uncle at every turn in this movie is overbearing and overprotective to like a very possessive, creepy degree, only to come to find out that when she was a child, he pushed her in a lake and she almost drowned and died. So
did Jason, was that a real thing? Was Jason in the lake pulling on her then?
I don't know. I never know when Jason's there or not in any of these movies.
Let me tell you, Jason, I felt kind of bad for him. He's a little insecure. He hates his reflection. I forget which girl it was, but he just busts in the bathroom. She's on the floor, like crouched over. He walks by her, and he just decks the fucking mirror for no reason. He just punches the mirror's lights out.
If I looked like that, I'd probably hate myself too. No, but he's also a little proud of it. It's like, he's also a little proud of it though, because there's the one scene where he's walking through like Times Square and like a bunch of like street hoodlums try to like intimidate him, and Jason just lifts up his mask and they run off, and then he tips it back down.
Yeah, and like so like that's not, I don't blame Kane Hodder. He kind of got like the shitty end of the stick.
Yeah, he was in the worst ones. It's not his fault.
Yeah, so like they're like telling him to do this shit. Why? I don't know. It's so inconsistent. It's not like he's just doing these like different behaviors, and it's just weird. He's like comical sometimes, and it's not comical like 6 where it's like kind of charming, and it's like, I don't know. There's like it's like a different kind of silly. This one's just like it feels so serious tonally.
That's the thing about like part 6 and why it works, is because it knows what it is. It's still it's a Friday the 13th movie, but it is very self-aware. There are meta elements. In this one, those sillier moments don't land as well because it tries to take itself seriously as a Friday the 13th movie, as a slasher. And like I can commend them for being like, I want to take this seriously, but also then you need to like try to make it a horror film. I'm not going to go on record and say that any Friday the 13th movies particularly scare me, just in the way that they're produced and shot and edited and directed. They don't do a great job. I think 4 maybe does the best job at portraying an actual intimidating, scary Jason, and I will give some credit to the first film with that whole POV killer angle, which adds a layer of creep factor to it because the characters have this like sense of not familiarity but friendliness with whoever the POV killer is. I don't know why I'm saying it like we haven't talked about it, Pamela Voorhees, but either way. Oh, I will say the one guy in the film, I think the guy who ended up portraying the character that the other actor was too gay for, apparently. He is the son of the ship captain, I believe. And at one point, the ship captain gets killed, and so this kid has to be the one to actually like drive this big ass fucking ship. He is trying so hard to do his best Tommy Jarvis in part 6 impersonation, because throughout the whole movie, he's doing the same thing that Tommy's doing in part 6, where he's like, it's Jason's here, I swear it's Jason. And all I could think of was Tommy in part 6 running around that fucking town yelling that Jason's back and like yelling at the fucking sheriff. Yeah.
I'm sure you read this probably in the trivia, but I didn't know this. The end scene in the tunnels, in the sewers, Kane Hodder actually vomits the water.
Yes.
Yeah. I get so like
cool.
I guess he drank a bunch of pitchers of water before that to do it, or like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's cool. That's
yeah.
also how you get water poisoning.
What, drinking too much?
Yeah.
Well, how much do you have to drink to get water poisoning? I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh yeah, no. If you drink too much water, you'll have to go to the hospital. Like it'll actually poison you.
How much do you have to drink?
Let's see. Let's quick Google. Oh, sorry, folks. I don't know what just got turned on my phone. What the fuck was that? How much water to get water poisoning? This is more entertaining than. So you have to drink between 3 and 4 liters.
That's not true.
What are you talking? Hold on.
A liter. A liter is only 2 to 3 liters. Liter's only 32 ounces.
Oh, overhydration. So if it says if you drink a gallon or 3 to 4 liters in the span of an hour or two, you can get overhydration.
If you drink how much in the span of 2 hours?
It says like a gallon.
Oh, in a couple hours. I mean, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's not like over the course of like that's the thing because you pee out water. But if you drink too much water before being able to pee it out,
Okay.
it says it upsets your electrolyte balance and causes like stress on your kidneys.
Interesting. Yeah, that's oh my god, I hate that so much. Like, yeah, there's so many rules even with healthy stuff.
Damn. It says it really does depend. It's hard to like give a specific amount because each
Yeah.
person's body type is different and their retention for water is different. So
Yeah.
but yeah. So guys, you heard it here on our podcast. Don't drink water. No. Stay hydrated,
Jason,
folks.
You know, I'm not gonna be fooled that Jason doesn't love water. He loves it. Before every frame, he just douses himself in like a gallon of water. He takes a shower before every take. Dude,
So Freddy versus Jason is a lie.
he's not even wet in that one, right? This is like the only one where he's like
Yeah.
soaked.
Oh, another fun fact: Ken Kersinger was originally set to portray, or originally they had wanted a Canadian actor to portray Jason in this film, and they were looking at Ken Kersinger, who ultimately ended up not playing the role because they honestly thought that Kane Hodder wasn't going to want to return because they were so used to actors who played Jason doing like a one and done thing. So
Yeah.
and he ends up, I think he plays an extra in the film. He's in one of the diner or bar scenes in this film, and I think he gets into an altercation with Jason at some point. But anyway, Ken Kersinger would go on to play Jason in Freddy vs. Jason.
So it wasn't because he was hotter.
That's a good one. Damn, that's a good one.
Let me see. I'm trying to remember. Like, I mean, my notes are tapped, but like.
Oh, wait, did I get into... Oh, wait, I have another fact about this movie of why you're allowed to hate it, not just because it's a bad movie. They had fully intended for Rennie, the virtuous good girl, to have a nude scene, thus rebuking slasher norms in which only the slutty girls show skin. But they had simply apparently forgot to cast an actress who would agree to it. And this is where it gets really creepy. The director repeatedly worked on wearing Jensen Daggett, who plays Rennie, wearing her down, pointing to examples of notable actresses who had done nudity without causing damage to their careers. First, he asked her to go nude. She declined. Then, maybe just topless. Again, she declined. Finally, he requested that she at least take her blouse off. You know what she said? She declined. So fuck this movie. Fuck the people who made it. I know that it said, I remember reading that it said a lot of the cast and crew had gotten together before the filming of the film, and they had watched parts 1 through 7 with the intent of really wanting to make this the best one. I can understand the director wanting it to be in a different setting and take the character in a new direction in terms of like where it was set, and that's great. Also, don't be a piece of shit. Just either cast a girl who we'll do the nude scenes, or I don't know, take no for an answer. I don't know.
Yeah. Take
Maybe do
notes
that.
from Jason Lives. You don't need it to make a fan favorite. Also, I just realized we did
Yeah.
not rate the seventh one right after
We'll
we were
just
done
do it
speaking
all
about
at the end, I guess.
Okay.
We'll just do it all at the end. But yeah, so my last trivia fact, and then I'm kind of out of it when it comes to notes for this movie. It was such a boring slog. You have a film called Jason Takes Manhattan. He does not get to Manhattan until an hour into the fucking movie. For some reason, they felt like this needed to be the longest one. So for the first hour, you just see Jason kill people on a fucking boat. And that is not exhilarating. It's not fun. The coal kill is fine. It's like he shoves a hot coal through somebody. It's okay, but it's the visual effects, not the visual effects, but just like the gore effects and the kill effects in this movie are absolute dog shit. It's just like, why couldn't you just consistently get Tom Savini to come back and do these movies? It's so evidently clear that most of the best kills in this franchise come when Tom Savini is working on the movies. So just fucking pay the guy. You have $5 million fucking dollars, throw a couple bones his way, and let the guy do his fucking thing. And then at least I can look at this movie.
Too much.
Well, he's fucking is worth it. He's worth it. Either way, my last trivia fact: Charlene Martin initially expressed discomfort at being filmed nude for a shower scene. To put her at ease, director Rob Hedden borrowed a page from theater and film lore and stripped down fully nude, walking into the shower himself to illustrate how easy it was. Unfortunately, he didn't realize the camera was rolling the entire time, and so when the producers watched the dailies the next morning, they were very confused as to why their director was standing naked in the shower. So that's fun. That's all I have for that movie. Do you have anything else?
Love that he falls. That they do the emergency brake on the subway, and he just stumbles.
I love on the subway. There's one part where I think he knocks a girl over. Like he knocks a girl onto the bench, and she takes a good 3 seconds after falling to the bench, and she looks up at Jason and goes, "Ah!" Like not like ah or oh, it's ah. It's so fucking funny. I enjoyed that. So, yeah. I like the rooftop scene. I like the when he punches the guy. I know you before we had started recording earlier today, you were talking about there's like an overhead tracking shot on the rooftop. So that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, is that the only time the camera moves? I wish I was like taking note of how often they move it.
So many of the shots in 7 and 8 were so fucking static, and it's like, holy shit, move the fucking camera. I will say, like, again, last note, devil's advocate kind of stuff. It is semi fun and charming to see Jason walking through like the streets of Manhattan. There is a little bit of charm that comes from that. Mm-hmm. Whereas 7 is completely devoid of charm, but a 7 is more entertaining because of the whole telekinetic aspect. So you can't win with either of these movies. It's a double barrel suicide on that one. But
yeah, and it's again, I wish we get more of New York because that's kind of like where it picks up in terms of entertainment. But I don't mind. Like I said, like I kind of like the claustrophobic feel of the cabins. It's just maybe in another movie. Don't
mm-hmm.
like I don't know. Just do it. Divide it. I don't know.
See, I see where you're coming from. The idea of a claustrophobic setting with Jason Voorhees, I think, is like an enticing idea. I think the issue is the movie is just so poorly directed and the cinematography is so dog shit that there's nothing to it. I even thought there was one interesting element in the movie. You have that girl who's kind of the punk rocker chick, and then you have the male character who's a little bit of a simp, and they point out that he's a simp in the movie. But he is constantly filming. And so you get a couple of shots where it's from the perspective of like an old black and white film camera. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat idea. Maybe they'll do something with it. And they never do. And I was like, oh, that could have been something. You could have actually taken that idea and done something with it. Like used that whole I'm not saying the whole new movie needs to be like a found footage style thing, even though actually that might have been kind of cool. But I don't
Yeah.
think found footage really existed back then. Blair Witch hadn't really come out. Nobody gave a shit about Cannibal Holocaust. So, yeah. I mean, again, there was a lot of missed potential in this movie. And I think that might be, too, why it pisses me off the most out of all of these movies is, like, I could see the potential in it, and they do nothing with it. So,
Yeah, no, I feel that. The this is the like this is a really this is like a very close mashup for me of like these three movies.
yeah. All right. So, do you want to move on to Jason Goes to Hell? All right, guys,
I
we're
do.
gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the ninth Friday the 13th movie. In just a moment, we're just gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, guys, thank you for holding during that little break. We are, of course, back talking about the final film of this episode, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, released quite a few years later from the previous film, which is a bit of a shift from the rest of the franchise, as it was not released until 1993. So we got a 4-year gap since the last film, as most of them were pumped out 1 year in between each other. This one directed by Adam Marcus, budget of $3 million, and a box office of 15.9 mil, which is a little bit better than Jason Takes Manhattan, but not by a big margin, and a slightly higher Rotten Tomato score sitting at 16%. And we might as well continue the trend this episode. Josh, would you like to read the synopsis this time for Jason Goes to Hell?
Yep. Serial killer Jason Voorhees returns from his watery coffin. I'm kidding. It does not say watery again.
Oh my god, you caught me off guard. I was like, no way did they do it again.
Nah. This one's very simple. Serial killer Jason Voorhees' supernatural origins are revealed. That is it. That is it. So I've never seen this. I've probably seen parts, but the reason I know I never seen this is because I was caught off guard by so much of what was happening. Had no idea what I was getting in for, getting into. But man, let me tell you, it was. I watched this one alone, because as I said, Lauren was sleeping while I was watching this. So, and it was pretty fun. It was so. Oh my god, the opening scene. There's so much bad happening here. But let me just say, you probably remembered how everything was panning out, right? Like, were you taken back by anything you didn't remember?
I will say, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, have not seen this movie since I was 13 years old, 12 or 13. I remembered a shocking amount of this movie. Like,
Really?
a shocking amount. And I think it's because of so many of the, like, really out there and weird creative decisions made in this movie.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like, it's hard not to be kind of memorable.
When I was the opening scene, when all the spotlights come on, dude, I thought it was a production. I was like, what is what is happening here? I was like, okay, I was like, that explains why Jason's acting so weird, why he's like doing all this, like it's just a guy playing Jason. This is a movie set, right?
Yeah.
And it's not. It's just a setup. It's a setup from this agent that
I want to go out on a limb. I don't want to get any shit. I mean, if you want to give me shit in the comments, let us know. We love engagement. I unironically, I like this opening scene.
That's fine. I don't like it. It's whatever at this point. I don't care who likes what.
Yeah.
I don't care who dislikes
I think
what.
I think it is a very, I don't want to say very clever, but I think it is a fun and kind of clever way to subvert expectations. And if you guys have not seen the movie in a while, well, just whereas the previous films, they were like, here, we're gonna do something a little different. Whether it's part 5 and it's a copycat killer who dresses up like Jason to cover up his tracks, or whether it's part 7 being like, hey, telekinetic powers, or 8 where it's like, hey, we're gonna take Jason out of his element and we're gonna put him on a boat and then into Manhattan and New York. This one was like, oh, hey, the opening scene. This is all the familiar elements that you come to have known. It's a hot girl, and she gets naked, and she's going to shower, and boom, Jason's there, and he's trying to kill her. And I remember watching, like, I very vividly remember watching this as a 13-year-old. And first off, being like, wait a minute, was he not a little boy at the end of the last movie? Either way, doesn't matter. But I remember being confused and being like, "Oh, okay, this is what you come to expect from a Jason movie." And then while still in a towel, this female, what you find out is like an FBI agent. She does like a little like roll over this thing, and like you said, the spotlights hit Jason. And spoilers for The Godfather, they do to what's his name? James Caan? James Caan?
James Caan. Yeah.
They do to James Caan Sonny in that movie. They do that to Jason in this movie, and they unload hundreds of bullets into him and then just fucking explode him. And I don't know. I get it. It's not that well shot. It's not great. But I thought it was like a clever subversion of your expectations. And not to say that subverting expectations always works, but when you're in the 9th fucking movie of a franchise about a guy in a fucking hockey mask killing people, I did kind of like that. It caught me off guard, even when I was like 13, like, and just even you now, you like said you didn't remember it or you don't know if you had seen it. It even caught you off guard. And I think for a 9th movie in a franchise to do something somewhat surprising, I think there is a little bit of merit to that.
Yeah, I mean, my jaw dropped for 7 and 8 too, at how ridiculous things got, but
Yeah, but like, it didn't surprise you. Like, it's more so, it's adding elements that are like weird and stupid, but this one genuinely like catches you off guard, and not just with that.
I was just
that scene.
confused. I was really confused
Yeah.
with, like, what was happening. I was like,
Yeah.
like I saw like 1,000 C stands just up with like spotlights. I was like, oh, it's a production.
Oh, you
Oh,
thought
no.
you thought they pulled a Bride of Chucky on? No, Seed of Chucky. You thought they pulled a Seed of Chucky on you.
I can't even remember. That's been so long since I seen
That's
that.
that's what it is. It starts out and you think it's like a Chucky thing, and then it's like, oh, they're making a Hollywood movie. So
Yeah.
that one gets very
But,
self-aware and meta, but
Yeah, lots of sounds already starting. I just have noting that his breathing, he's got to get like some like meds for that or something. He's like really loud. But yeah, I was just shocked that it was actually real. I was like, this is so ridiculous. All right, let's get the reveal. And it was like, oh no, this is just a SWAT team just coming in. Like,
yeah, it's kind of fun. It's
That's
kind of fun.
whatever.
It's
Yeah,
kinda,
I was just like,
it's
all
kind of
right, cool.
cheeky. I will say, unironically, the credits are fucking awful in this movie. It's like they didn't. And I have a lot of fun facts about this movie too. A lot of good little trivia tidbits. But the opening title credits of this movie are so fucking awfully executed and awfully edited. It's never been more evident or clear in an opening credit sequence of a movie that this was not planned at all. They had shot the sequence of them wheeling in Jason's exploded body parts into this FBI morgue, I guess that's what it was. I don't really know. But and then just every like 2-3 seconds you'd get like a title card, like cinematographer or starring this person. It was just so sloppily put together that I was like, man, this is unprofessional as fuck. Like,
well, let's get to the doctor because I was just like laughing my ass off here.
fun fact, that doctor originally had auditioned for the role of Creighton Duke, my favorite addition to this franchise.
Yeah, you're gonna have to help me out on Creighton a little bit because I don't know how the fuck this guy has all the knowledge in the world. Dude is just like, he's just like explaining the lore better than like anyone could ever do. It's unbelievable.
Well, dude, I have a fun. Oh, also another fun fact. Originally for the role of Creighton Duke, Tony Todd was up for consideration, but they ended up going with actor Stephen Williams. Have you ever watched The Leftovers, Josh?
No.
Ah, damn it! Fuck.
Yeah.
He plays a character in that. Also, fun fact, apparently it was common for Stephen Williams on the set of this movie to constantly, without prompt, flash his female co-stars and
Wow.
crew. So
Jesus.
that's fun. That's a fun
God.
little fact. Oh, dude, the production of this movie was fucking insane. Like, absolutely ludicrous. Starting off with another one. So there was allegedly a comic book that had bridged the gap between Friday the 13th Part 8 and this film. So it followed Jason after he was dipped in the toxic waste in the sewer. He was apparently walking his way back to Crystal Lake, and it also apparently explained why the FBI has a task force specifically for Jason. But, and this is where it gets fun, and this is where it gets confusing logistically. Producer Sean S. Cunningham, who was the director of the original film, and director Adam Marcus have stated that they made Jason Goes to Hell as a follow-up / direct sequel to the original Friday the 13th, and mostly ignored everything from Friday the 13th Part 2 to Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Okay. All right. So, mind you, we're ignoring parts 2 through 8, right? That's what that said.
Yeah.
So, at one point in this, Josh, they stated that Jason is a notorious serial killer with at least 86 confirmed kills.
Yeah, you don't see.
What the fuck are we talking about here? If you're making a follow-up to the original, how the fuck does he have 86 confirmed kills, you fucking lunatics?
Off screen.
I don't get this, man.
Imagine going from 1 to 9 and being like, yeah, this is the direct sequel.
It is the exact, and for any of you, I'm not calling you out, Josh, you're not alone. A lot of people give a little bit of credit. Some people even love Halloween 2018. Mm-hmm. It's fine. That's fine. Love what you will. Like what you like. Those movies do the same fucking thing. They are explicitly telling you this is a direct sequel to the original, and that all the other films, including Halloween 2, do not exist. Okay, that's fine. So then why the fuck is Michael Myers a world-renowned serial killer? By the film's logic and timeline, he killed 3 people 40 years ago. Why the fuck would a podcaster show up on the rooftop and show him a mask? Why the fuck would Michael care about that mask? It's a mask he stole from a store randomly 40 fucking years ago.
I forget. Do they say when he got locked up after the events of the first? Was it like instantly?
Yeah, it's immediately. Because remember in Halloween Kills, they do the they do the flashback and they show what happened after he.
That's right.
And they do fucking CGI de-age Sam Loomis.
So he's got a handful, a few bodies, and he's the most like notorious.
Oh, I gotta ask you.
Of all time.
Yeah. Oh my god. Fucking. Again, guys, like what you like, but Jesus Christ, come the fuck on. All right, Creighton Duke. In reference to him, did you catch the Jaws reference in this movie?
Yeah, you bet your ass I did. I have it written right here. Like I was like, no fucking way. Oh my god, $500,000. That's my fee. For that, you get the man, the machete, the whole damn thing. Like, get the hell out of my face.
Dude, I love Creighton Duke. The most confused I was in this entire movie is shockingly when the one character, Steven, who I think I mentioned earlier this episode, originally... Oh, I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of this discussion for this film. This is the first film not released under Paramount and was instead... this is when the rights went over to New Line Cinema. So, that's cool, I guess. But yeah, so that character, the character of Steven in the film, was originally going to be Tommy Jarvis, and they didn't have the rights to the character Tommy Jarvis. Which is so... Like, I feel like when you buy the rights to a franchise, you should inherently get the rights to all of those characters, right?
Yeah, especially for a Friday series. Like, come on, man, just lighten up. Just
What are we doing? Oh my god. Okay.
so that was the most confused you were.
No, 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 no. I'm sorry.
Okay,
The
because I
most
was
confused I was when so the character of Steven in the film, who is there's so much weird plot in this movie to talk about. You were right. This is not going to be as short of an episode as I thought. Um, so at one point, so you find out that through Creighton Duke that the only person who can kill Jason Voorhees is a member of the Voorhees family. So that's a fun bit of lore to add into your ninth movie of a franchise that has never been talked about before. However, you find out that only a Voorhees can kill Jason Voorhees, and he wants to I think be reborn into a Voorhees. So there's a baby in the movie, and Jason I think wants to become the baby, which I don't know how he's gonna take care of himself as the baby. Okay, so there's three Voorheeses in this movie. There's the grandma, the grandmom, and she dies pretty early on. And the guy Steven, who you find out had a baby with her daughter but doesn't know that she had a baby or she was pregnant. He is with her when she gets killed, but he gets locked up for her murder and is accused of killing her because there's no evidence that anybody else was there. Okay. And at this point, Creighton Duke had already been arrested because he makes sexual remarks about the Voorhees woman who dies, the grandma. And so he's locked up, and Creighton is in a cell next to Steven. And Creighton is like, nah, man, I know that you didn't kill her. It's Jason. Jason's back. And then Steven is like, what? Oh my gosh, what do you mean? And he's like, oh yeah, he's gonna kill all the Voorheeses, and he wants to be reborn through the baby Voorhees. And then Steven is like, well, what do you mean? And he wants more information. And Creighton's like, well, I don't think you have the balls. I don't think you got what it takes. And apparently what it takes to get every piece of information out of Creighton is he gets to break one of Steven's fingers. And that's the most confused I was in the movie.
I'm with you. I have it written down right here. I was like, what the hell is this guy deal? He just loves breaking hands.
This movie's awesome. This movie's incredible.
He's just breaking fingers. And
No, he breaks like 4 of his fingers, and he's like, I don't think you got what it takes for the next piece of information. And Steven's like, do it. And he's like, nah, this one's for free.
Yeah, like every time Steven asks a question, Creighton's just like, he's like, oh man, come on, that's a really expensive question.
And like you brought up, none of this has ever been mentioned before. This lore about how to kill Jason. Like,
Who is this guy
like-
to us?
like he oh, okay. Oh my god, I'm laughing way too hard. Okay, so and apparently the director had gone on record and said I don't know if it was a deleted scene or just a part of the script that had gotten cut out, but you were apparently, because there's a line later in the movie when Creighton is fighting Jason and he's like, don't you remember me? And you're like, wait a minute, I've never seen this fucking... He's never been in any of these movies. And apparently it's because in the original script, there was a scene it was a flashback where a young Creighton and his girlfriend were at Camp Crystal Lake, and I guess Jason capsized the boat and killed his girlfriend. And so Creighton went on a lifelong mission to kill Jason, and he only became a bounty hunter to fund his revenge mission.
Oh man.
So that's why that line's in the movie. Also, this is the movie that gives all of the idiots out there any belief that Jason is a Deadite and is a member of the Evil Dead family. As there is a scene when Steven is investigating and he goes into the house and he finds a dagger and a book, which is supposedly supposed to be the Necronomicon. And I would love to read what the director said about this because it's pretty funny. Well, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Due to the presence of the Necronomicon and the dagger from Evil Dead 1981, some fans assume that Jason is a Deadite, an evil demonic spirit, although others see it as just a reference that is purely fan service. However, in 2017, Adam Marcus stated that Jason's mother, Pamela Voorhees, made a deal with the devil by reading from the Necronomicon to bring back her son. And this is his quote. "This is why Jason isn't Jason. He's Jason plus the Evil Dead. And now I can believe that he can go from a little boy that lives in a lake to a full-grown man in a couple of months to zombie Jason to never being able to kill this guy. So yes, in my opinion, Jason Voorhees is a Deadite. He's one of the Evil Dead." Marcus had also claimed that Evil Dead writer and director Sam Raimi loved the idea, but it could never be done legally because New Line Cinema, yep, you guessed it, didn't own the rights to the Evil Dead. You cannot come as the director of the 9th film in a franchise and make a movie released in 1993 and tie it to a movie that you don't own the rights to, but only ever come out and say this fucking in 2017. What are you doing? And also,
is there not like any like legal issues with that?
well, I guess because if you look at the book, it's very clearly not the Necronomicon. Like the drawings inside the book don't look like the same drawings. The design of the outside of the book don't look like the book from the Evil Dead. It's just a stupid fucking reference. Which, like, listen, it's a neat little Easter egg. But, like, also, fuck off. And also, I have more fun facts that piss me off about this guy. Actually, I have a lot of fun facts. But, so, yeah. Here we go. Here's another creepy one. Director Adam Marcus wanted Carrie Keegan, who plays Jessica, to do her shower scene completely nude, a la Glenn Close sitting in a shower naked and crying in a movie from 1983 called The Big Chill. Keegan later said she told them from the get-go that she wouldn't do nudity, while Marcus, the director, maintains she was never upfront with him about that. Keegan countered that and said Marcus knew, but kept telling everybody he'd be able to convince her to change her mind, which she of course did not. And during the scene where she wore a flesh-colored bathing suit bottom and Madonna-like cone bra just with the Dixie cups instead of cones, the water was so hot, though, that she was literally crying from pain. Keegan also complained about the whole thing to her agent, who then argued with everyone on the production, especially director Adam Marcus. As a result, Keegan and Marcus briefly became enemies, which got so bad that she walked off of set, even though they were only a couple days away from wrapping. Yeah. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. I have so much about this. I'm sorry. Producer Sean S. Cunningham long believed that actors never took their cues fast enough, meaning it would take just a couple seconds too long to go out of a room or through a door because they were too busy emoting. Yeah, why would you want your actors to emote? Better to just walk. His passive-aggressive solution, you'll love this, was not to communicate this more clearly to the actors, what a director or producer is supposed to do, but instead shoot the movie at 22 frames per second instead of 24, thinking that increasing the speed would eliminate any sign of slight of hesitation from the actor. This, of course, put all the audio out of whack, but he thought that he could fix it with a harmonizer. What the fuck are they talking about? What are they doing?
And these are the people that get hired.
These are the people that make these movies. Oh, I got another good one. This is the last one, then we can talk more about the plot. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, did I forget to write that one down? Okay. I forgot to write this one fully down, so I'll just try to recall it from memory the best I can. Sorry, guys, if I butcher this a little bit. I don't know if you know this. The director, Adam Marcus, was only 23 at the time of filming. So he was a 23-year-old kid who was given the rights to direct the ninth Friday the 13th movie. And apparently, the production was so rushed and he was so inexperienced as a director that things were so poorly planned that typically back in the day before digital was a thing, obviously directors, we've mentioned on this episode, dailies. If those of you don't know what dailies are, back when they used to shoot on film, since you couldn't watch the playback immediately because you didn't have digital filmmaking, you would have to wait until the next day to rewatch the scenes that you had shot. Because this director was so inexperienced and things were so poorly planned for this film, and it was such a rushed production, the director himself didn't watch the dailies and would just move on to the next filming. And after filming several scenes of this movie, in fact, I think it was around 45 minutes worth of footage, they realized that all of it was unusable.
Oh
So
my
they had
God.
to
Why?
reshoot. Things were, I think it was like things were out of focus,
Okay.
things didn't line up right. And so they basically had to play Frankenstein in this and try to stitch things together and reshoot a bunch of scenes from the movie that ended up causing things to get cut, including certain character dynamics, certain relationships, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, 45 minutes of unusable footage.
That's so fucking annoying, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry for like the info dump, guys, but
Nah, it's fine. Ugh. Oh, now you said it's not actually the
Necronomicon.
the Necronomicon. Yeah, it was. It was like identical to it. It was just dusty, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the exact thing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Yeah, it even has it's like the mouth is like the same.
Ah, shit, you're right.
It's just really dusty, so it's hard to like make it out.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the outside of the design is right. Man, okay. I must have zoned out for that. It really, or I just wasn't paying full attention. It looked weird to me. The drawings though, they didn't look right.
I don't remember the drawings. I mostly remember the cover.
Because the drawings looked really goofy in this movie, whereas I always thought like the drawings in like the Evil Dead films were like really creepy, really like unhinged. But all right, fine,
Well, so
whatever.
I want to know something. So that's what I'm talking about with like can the director say that about Jason as a whole character, that he's traced back to Evil Dead if it's not confirmed by like the originators?
The thing is, like, I like that kind of like idea of a backstory. I think that's kind of fun to be like, oh, that explains how Jason died as a kid and came back, is his mother made a deal with the devil. I think that's kind of interesting. But it's just like, I don't know, you're coming into the ninth movie of a franchise. Like, we all accept at this point that none of it is going to line up. And also, like, again, you're already adding in elements that don't make any fucking sense. You're adding in a character that even if you had included that backstory, where is all this lore coming from that this is the only way to... That's not the only way to kill a Deadite. I've seen the Evil Dead movies. There's plenty of ways to fucking kill those goofballs. They're fucking idiots. They just fuck with you. That's all they do, is they're just fucking assholes. You chop them up. That's all you do. You chop them up. Stab him with that one knife. Like, what are you talking about? A Voorhees has to kill a Voorhees. Like, what? Where is this coming from? Like, you don't... it's fine. You don't have to, like he's died before. Are we forgetting that he has fully died? The only reason that he came back twice is the first time dumbass Tommy Jarvis decided that he needed to burn the fucking body, and just so happened to be a lightning strike at that exact fucking time, and that reanimated Jason back from the dead. He was dead. He was a fucking pile of bones and dust. He was dead. He was dead. And you know what? After 6, when they drown him, Josh, he's fucking dead. They go out of their way in part 7, The New Blood. Yeah, dude, they show him reanimating in part 7, The New Blood.
Well,
Her
yeah,
telekinetic powers awaken him.
I'm not listen. I'm not gonna look at the next film to tell me what was happening in the because they don't bother being like
Well, that's what I'm
attentive.
saying. Like,
But like the
why do
sixth one,
why do
he
you?
is alive.
He's alive because she reanimates him with her telekinetic powers.
No. And no, at the end of the sixth one, he's already alive. That's why the seventh opening doesn't
Oh
make
yeah,
sense.
shit, you're right.
So, like, he's just
That's the
yeah.
thing. Like, listen, dude, whatever. You're 23 years old, and like, there are parts of this film that I like directorially and like direction wise. I will go on record and say that the reason not only that I like this movie more than 7 and 8 is that it's a little bit more entertaining. It's a little bit more fun. In terms of what going, I mean, there's one of the first things you see after Jason gets blown the fuck up is this doctor, who there. It's like a 360 panning shot around him while he's like gorging on Jason's heart. He's
I
like
was cracking up
inhaling
at his
it.
sound, like the sound he
Yeah.
makes when he oh.
Oh, it's so funny. And it's so like over dramatic. I will say there is like, and that's the thing with this movie is like I think there's some directing choices. Like I was joking when I texted you earlier. By the way, I don't give this movie 0.5 higher just because there's one split diopter shot or a diopter shot. But I did like that. I did like that there was a couple of scenes where I was like, oh shit, the camera actually moves a little bit. And it's not obviously to the level of like a Sam Raimi movie, but there was a little bit of creativity in like the way things were kind of shot and framed. And there a
Would
couple
you
of
like when the
different
guy was
unique
walking up to
angles.
the house? It was like a pan up from like a low angle when he's like
Yeah,
when he's
yeah,
like
there,
approaching the house.
yeah. There was like the high angle when the Steven guy when he's fighting Jason outside the house, and he's climbing up that jungle gym type thing, which I guess is apparently when I was reading the trivia, that's from like The Birds, the movie The Birds. I don't know who gives a shit. There was like a high angle of that, and again, it's not like super impressive, but there was also like little choices like editing wise. Like I don't know, I thought like one editing choice again that I unironically kind of enjoy is it's when the doctor has already taken on Jason's personality, and he's trying to leave the hospital, and he walks past these two guards, and initially Jason is just going to walk past them, like he's just going to just walk away, and the two FBI guards, the one goes, yeah, Jason was just a big pussy anyway. And in any other Friday the 13th movie, he would just kill those guys, but instead it immediately cuts to like a TV news footage, and you see it like kind of pan down, and both of the guards are dead, and it's like a news report, and the guy is like, two FBI guards dead, is Jason deadly, or what does it say, is Jason dead or is he deadly? And I just thought that was like a not super clever, but like, oh, that's an actual pre-planned editing choice that you went into. It wasn't just like in post-production you were like, oh hey, let's cut it this way. That was planned out. And there was just a couple times in this movie where I thought that there was some kind of interesting creative choices. Nothing great,
Are we going to talk
but
about?
interesting.
Are we going to talk about? I like that Kane Hodder has two roles in this movie.
God, fuck. Yeah.
Like,
Go
why
for
is he
it.
the why is he why is he the guard? So he kills himself.
Oh, then he has 3 roles in this movie.
What's the third? Did I miss it?
Buddy, who do you think plays Jason's glove at the end? Or Freddy's glove?
Is that Kane?
It is.
So he's Freddy.
Yeah, I think we talked about this in the first episode, but Kane Hodder claims to have played 3 of the biggest slashers, as he plays Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw 3 or 4. Obviously, he plays Jason in 7 through 9. And maybe 10. I think he's in Jason X.
Is that
I think
him?
it's Kane. I'm not sure. It's been so long since
probably
I've seen
he's
Jason
yeah
X.
he's in the worst ones, so it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it lines up. No, and then yeah, he claims to have also played Freddy Krueger because he plays the glove at the end, which was another kind of like choice, not the glove thing, but before that. So the only remaining Voorhees woman, I forget her name in the movie. I really do, but
Jessica.
Jessica, yes. So Jessica stabs Jason with the knife. You get really shitty early 90s like lightning and this like orange laser effect attacking him and coming out of his body. And Then she kicks the knife into him deeper. And then you get a scene that I thought was kind of cool, unironically again, where a bunch of hands emerge from the ground and start pulling Jason down to hell. I was like, I'm so used to Jason just dying in like, other than 4, Jason dying in just like the most boring, underwhelming ways. And so I was like, all right, at the very least, that's kind of fun. It's kind of different. It's not as dumb and silly as him getting hit with toxic waste at the end of 8 and turning into a little boy again. I thought it was kind of fun.
Dude,
the
I was
hands
just
pulling
I was
him to
cracking
hell.
up I was absolutely cracking up at the hands. I just wrote, "What the fuck are all these hands pulling them down?"
I don't know, but again, I just
like-
thought it's
they're
not
massive.
good. But
They're
yeah.
massive hands.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what is that.
Well, Josh, didn't you know that this actually is a prequel to Cabin in the Woods, and it's actually the characters from that, the gods.
Oh.
Which lines up
orange.
because in that movie, in Cabin in the Woods, on the board there is Deadites on there.
I mean, I like Cabin in the Woods. Don't get me wrong.
I would
do
watch
like
Cabin in the Woods over any Friday the 13th.
Oh my god, it's not even close. So
Sorry,
you
what
didn't
were you saying?
remember? The orange glow. Yeah, that was fucking ridiculous.
Those,
Every
like,
time you got like
orange
hit, it was
beams.
weird. It was so weird.
I love old like 80s, 90s effects when they have to do like some sort of mystical thing like that because it always looks so
Yeah.
shitty.
I like the waitress when they bust in and she already has the baby in the back and she says, "You're not getting near that ray of sunshine," or something like that. And then they tell her son to go like check on whatever, like go outside and like look.
Yeah.
And they give him the gun and he puts it in his pants and she just goes, "Honey, watch the willy." And he just like he's like ah.
Is
He's like embarrassed.
is she the one who she gets like elbowed in the face and it like flattens her fucking face?
I like that kill.
That's the thing. I think the kills in this movie are better than 7 and 8 as well. Whereas like
They
there's
are.
one kill in 7 and 8, like each one respectively. You got the sleeping bag one and you get the head punch off in 8 that I think are both pretty memorable. The hot coal kill is fine. It's not amazing, but yeah, either way, in this one, and then I really don't have too much left to say about it, but back to back, you get her getting her face pummeled, and when that kid goes out, when their son goes out or whatever, I think that's their son, I guess.
Yeah.
Either way, and even then, that waitress and her like 2 foot tall husband, like they're like more memorable characters to me, like just in the way that they like emote and express. Like I can actually remember some scenes with them. Like you brought up how she calls the baby a ray of sunshine, but when they first bring the baby in, she's like, "Get
She
that
hates
fucking
it.
baby out of here!" Yeah.
This is a
they're like,
nursery.
they're like, it's like so cute, and she's like, "Yeah, it'll be cute when it's on the fucking street." And I was like, "Holy shit!" But no, when they send out that kid to go out or whatever, Jason breaks his arm, and it's like a pretty good fucking effect. Like his arm gets snapped in half, and like you see the bone pop out. It's like pretty good. Which again leads me to my favorite kill of the movie, where the girl gets like she gets impaled by something. It's like a large rod or metal pole or something. And I was like, all right, we've seen that before. But then Jason rips it up and splits the woman in half. And I was like, holy shit, that was like a
Yeah.
really good effect.
Why is it so like back and forth with censorship? I don't understand like why it's not.
Dude, I don't know. It's like it's so weird. Like when these movies decide that they want to be, or it's so weird when the MPAA decides like what they can do and what they can't do. It makes
Yeah.
no fucking sense, and it still to this day doesn't make sense. A TV show like The Walking Dead is on AMC, and it is completely fine to show a character get his head bashed in by a fucking baseball bat to the point where his brain looks like fucking soup, but you can't say the word fuck on cable TV.
Yeah.
Explain the fucking logic behind that. Like
I don't understand.
what the fuck are we doing?
I have a note. This just caught me off guard, but it made me laugh. I just wrote almost
Yeah.
choked on my yogurt with the car door kill. It's such a quick shot when it's when
Yeah.
he slams the car door on her head or neck, and it just cuts to like a close up of it happening for like a second, and it reminded me of like when I laughed at the Crispin Glover kill when he gets like it's like a second of him like screaming. It's so quick. I like almost
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
spit out what I was eating.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, yeah. No,
oh, and
there is.
I have this other ridiculous note. It kind of reminded me of Jason Takes Manhattan when the dog sees the Flash. They show you when the first Doctor becomes Jason, he's Jason in the mirror. So his reflection is Jason. Why does the woman see this? Why does the woman see? Why is he Jason in the mirror? Like in actuality, he's Jason in the mirror only. When he's in the house, when it's the
Josh,
husband, right?
Yeah, mirrors are the gateway to the paranormal world, supposedly.
Oh my god.
I was confusing that too. At first, I was like, "Oh, okay, they're just doing that to like for the idiots who didn't realize that like the people." Oh, dude, we didn't even talk about one of the weirdest scenes when the doctor, who's Jason at this point, he like kidnaps the one police officer and straps him down to a table, and he's naked, and he starts shaving the guy's beard.
Why?
As if Jason couldn't transfer his soul into the guy because he had facial hair.
Yeah, I don't. Oh my god. Oh my god, and the noises when as soon as Jason comes back, the grunting, and it was so distracting. I because it's never. I don't remember in 7 and 8 when he's making those sounds. I remember the breathing, sure, yeah. But this guy is like making these really loud grunts and kind of like yelling.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
The hair,
he's so
the hair bothers
top.
me so much. I hate the hair, Jason, so much.
Yeah,
it's really gross.
It's just a weird addition.
Yeah,
because
it's nasty.
Like it implies that like he's had long hair and is balding, whereas in literally every single Jason movie, he has always had like little to no hair.
So like, was he always shaving his head and he just stopped giving a shit and he just let it grow out for this one? Like it's just, I don't know. But
this one
is very, very funny. This one had a lot of like,
and that's the thing, and that's where it's like, it's not. I think as a movie, I think it has better direction. It has some better cinematography and editing choices than 7 and 8. I think it's more fun. It's more entertaining. And listen, the whole Jason absorbing and transferring his soul into different bodies. It's stupid. It makes no fucking sense. The movie does not align with any fucking previous Jason movie. But I at least give it a little bit of credit that, it is trying to do something new. I think when you're in the 9th fucking, installment of this, like, drastically beating a dead horse franchise, I think you do have to spice things up a little bit. And, yeah. So, like, when it comes to that sort of stuff, like, I don't know.
That's
and there's
fair.
a back and forth between Sean S. Cunningham and the director Adam Marcus, where there's reports that like Adam Marcus was so inexperienced and so unprofessional on the set, of course, because he's fucking 23 years old, that I guess Sean S. Cunningham had to come in and take over directing the film on the last couple of days of shooting. They go back and forth. Apparently, Adam Marcus was the one who was like, "Oh, I'll make the movie, but we are not having the fucking Jason mask, and that's why you get the whole body transfer thing." But then Sean S. Cunningham was like, Adam Marcus, Sean S. Cunningham is the one who said Adam Marcus didn't want the hockey mask in. Adam Marcus has denied this and said that he didn't say that or advocate for that at all. And there's so much like behind the scenes turmoil of this movie that I'm surprised it's not more of a fucking mess. Like, it has a little bit of coherency. Like, in terms of lining up with the rest of the franchise, it doesn't. But, like, as a singular film, it could have been a lot fucking worse based off of, like, all of the behind-the-scenes shit that you kind of read about with this movie. But,
yeah.
I think we talked about it a little bit, but Jason gets sent to hell, and even though he clearly gets dragged all the way down, mask included, the film kind of ends with a dog running over and sniffing at his mask that's kind of in the dirt, and then, Freddy Krueger's claw pops out and pulls down the mask. So... You would assume that, that they'd be making Freddy versus Jason like pretty soon after this.
10
You'd
years
assume.
maybe. Just another 10-year wait.
Yeah. It's so funny because it's so, like all you read is like they had been planning like a Freddy vs. Jason movie since like 1987. The funniest part, Josh, is that New Line Cinema now had the rights when this movie came out. They owned both of the characters. So
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Are they still in talks about doing like a Michael versus something?
Nah, I don't think that'll ever happen.
That's not happening. Okay.
No.
Why? Like, why was it Freddy and Jason?
Maybe because they were always more supernatural killers. Whereas, like, you could argue that Michael Myers is supernatural, but by, like, 1987, we already had Zombie Jason, and of course,
Yeah.
Freddy is already inherently one. Whereas, what did we say? 1987. That's when Halloween 4 comes out, or no, 1988. I'm sorry, 1988. Halloween 4 comes out. At that point, Michael is still kind of treated like a human. Like,
Yeah.
yes, he survived. He survived getting shot 6 times in the first movie. Yes, he survived getting set on literal fire at the end of the second one. But even then, they kind of address it because at the beginning of 4, he's all bandaged up and you know all that stuff. So he's still technically human by that point, I think.
Do they sleep? Do you think? Like
Which one?
Jason and Michael, do they sleep?
Well, Michael's in a coma for a whole year in between 4 and 5, so I guess he got some Z's then.
Yeah, but like day to day, do you think they nap or do you think they don't need to? What do they eat? Do they eat?
Well, Michael eats dogs. That's confirmed.
That is confirmed?
Yeah. They find like a half-eaten dog, I think, in the first first Halloween movie.
Is it? Oh, I thought he just killed the dog.
Oh, I thought he ate it. He
No,
definitely
he might have.
eats.
He
He
might have.
definitely eats it in the Rob Zombie ones. I think you actually see him eat a dog in that one.
That probably is a thing then in the first one. I can't remember if they say it or something like that. But yeah, I wonder if Jason eats. Maybe he eats bark. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't mention that one kill that I loved. I think it's when the couple is having sex in the woods, and that's when he like stabs the girl and like splits her in half. Also, this is one of the most or the highest amount of male nudity that you'll see in the franchise, and that also lends to Adam Marcus saying that he wanted to subvert more expectations and that a lot of the Friday the 13th movies are kind of sexist, which yes, they are. But and we even said on multiple episodes here that we wanted to see more male nudity, some boy butt, some dong, and he wanted to add in more male nudity in this one to kind of balance it out. So
Good.
there's that. Yeah. Yeah, that kill. So apparently that was a reshoot for the film because the production studio, I think it was New Line Cinema, they wanted more nudity in the film. They didn't feel like there was enough nudity, so they had to add that scene where the couple is having sex in the woods, which I thought was funny because while watching it, I felt like that scene was out of place. I was like, this feels like a scene from a previous Friday the 13th movie, and it feels out of place here. And now learning that, oh yeah, it's just because the studio wanted some nudity. So, oh, you even see the agent at the beginning. She gets naked too, which is a weird like. It's almost like they're really looking at the camera and being like, yeah, see, this is like what you remember from a Jason movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is she's an FBI agent? Why does she have to get naked? Like, would Jason not have tried to kill her if she didn't get naked? I like why is that important to the plan?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm all tapped out for notes on this one.
Yeah, I don't think
you have anything
mean,
else.
The break in hands was my favorite part. That was just that was unbelievable. In this
that
movie.
was so funny. I was cackling at that.
And I have
was
to
like,
wonder
why.
Why did he even want $500,000? I mean to hunt him down, he'd probably break a leg and he'd be happy. I thought,
Dude, fucking Quint only wanted 10 grand to kill a shark. You know, this fucker wants $500,000 to hunt down Jason. Well, to be fair, he does have 86 confirmed kills. I also love too. They were like trying to decide if Jason's still alive or not, and the news guy or something says, I forget if it's the news guy or the one who's like interviewing Creighton Duke, but he says something. No, it's the news reporter guy, because he's like, there's been a spree of Jason-like murders, and I was like, the fuck is a Jason-like murder? He has murdered. You're telling me he's murdered 86 people and he has a pattern? He has an MO? What? He's killed people. Oh my God, we didn't talk about it in 7.
What?
The fucking, the most absurd, like, it's like a weed whacker type thing, but it's not a weed whacker. Where does he get that?
Wait, no.
What is that tool? Dude, it's in 7.
Oh, yeah, 7, he's, like, grabbing every tool in the shed, like, in a different scene.
Yeah, it's like a saw, but, like, on, like, a weed whacker.
I think it's the thing that, like, trims the bushes, right? Isn't that what that is? It, like,
Do people trim bushes? I thought they used shears for bushes.
No. Like where you... I think it's that where you get, like, those really clean, straight line bushes. I think you use that.
It's like a circular blade. I've never seen
that's
something
what
like
I thought it. That's what I thought it was.
Oh,
but I don't. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd know more. What is it when we were talking about Puss in Boots? You did know that was a sickle and not a scythe. So
yeah,
I'd never heard of a sickle. So I trust you on tools and equipment on this one. But yeah, we somehow talked way longer than I would have ever imagined about these 3 movies.
Hour longer than Jake was expecting. Well, maybe not actually. Maybe not, because there was a little break.
There was a little stretch there where we a little break.
I'll give you a half hour longer. We were pretty concise with the first 2, but we kind of
yeah. That's why 9 is the best. There's more to talk about.
You know, I like it more. If that makes you feel better, I like it more.
But no, I feel like I highlighted. I genuinely think that, like, it's a better made movie. I didn't notice as much bad acting in this one as 7 and 8 either. Like, the performances I don't think were as noticeably weak.
Yeah, maybe because the cast was a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But even just like dialogue wise, I was like, that's like not great, but it's like there was in 7 and 8, I was like, holy shit. I don't want to be rude, but like, who did they have to fuck to get this role?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I thought the lighting in the diner scene wasn't bad. I thought that was like kind of nice looking.
I don't think I have any.
Oh, in the earlier diner scene, in terms of bad technical stuff, it's when Creighton Duke arrives at the diner towards the beginning of the film. The audio dubbing, like the ADR in that, was so fucking bad. Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's probably
I didn't catch it.
That's probably one of the, I don't know. I feel like I have a hyper fixation on some of that stuff, like when it's like really bad ADR. I feel like I'm always pointing it out at weird points, like in the Twilight episode, and I was like, man, that fucking ADR. It's like, I don't know why it bothers me so much, but yeah, it ticks me off. But I'm all out of thoughts on this one, in case you got any more.
No. I was really dreading it by the 3rd movie, but I'm glad this kind of brought a little bit more entertainment into my life.
Oh yeah, so, I was miserable watching 7 and 8.
I remember you texted me when
9. Yeah,
when you watched 8, you were like, somehow it gets worse, and you were pleasantly surprised that it actually got a little better. Yeah.
I'd always in my mind held 9 as being like the most boring and the worst one, and I'm like, no, this is way more entertaining than 7 and 8. I think a lot of people have 8 as like an osmosis Mandela type thing, where it's like they remember it being fun because it's like, oh, Jason in Manhattan, that's so fun and quirky. And then you also forget that it takes them a fucking hour to get to the fucking city. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm all out of notes. And if you want to get to ratings.
Yep.
All right. Do you want to kick us off or?
Yeah. I can start us. We're doing the Friday 13th movie. So
Yeah, guys, I'll highlight it every episode because in case you, for some reason, listen to this one and not the other ones, we do two scores. Our scores as actual movies, like our critical score, and then also as Friday the 13th movies. It's still out of 10, but we rate it out of 3 for kills, out of 4 for entertainment, and out of 3 for nudity. We're not perverts, but listen, you'll watch Friday the 13th for a couple of reasons, and it's the nudity and the kills. So we're sticking
and
with
if you
it.
don't watch it for those reasons, it's very common that people do.
Yeah. No, yeah.
right.
If you watch it because you think they're good movies, then more power to you.
Yeah, the way Jake watches 9, thinking it's a good movie. Anyway,
I never said it was a good movie. I said it made a couple of decisions.
so nudity for 7, 2.5 out of 3.
Okay. All right.
Very good. Good stuff in there. Good stuff in there. The lake, the girl in the lake, that's the most bush I think we've seen in the series, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's a little like muddled in the water, but whatever.
Yeah. None of them come close to Terry for me, but from part 2.
Oh, mine's 5. I forget her name.
All right, well that's different. That's for a different reason. Actually, 2 different reasons.
Anyway, kills 1 out of 3. A generous 1 out of 3.
Bad kills, yeah. It gets a 1 for the sleeping bag, and that's it.
Yeah, that's really why I got it.
Yeah.
Entertainment 1 out of 4.
All right.
With a total score of 4.5. It's somehow still better than the 1, better than the first one as a Friday the 13th movie. Yeah, this nudity really bumps these up or down. It comes down to the nudity, and that's what bothered me about 6. Fucking
That's
7 out of 10. My ass. As a movie, Jake's gonna hate me for this. A 2.6.
I don't think I'd hate you for that.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought that was too high for you.
It's higher than what I'm going to give it, but...
Yeah. 2.6 out of 10.
Like, do I think it's better than Chamber of Secrets? Yeah, of course. No, I'm just kidding. That is a joke, guys. That is a joke.
This is the worst one so far for me. I have not gotten it in the 2s yet.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to give a 1 out of 3 for the kills. Like Josh said, they're just very weak. Entertainment, 1 out of 4. I really wanted to enjoy this one more, but if maybe they had focused on the telekinetic stuff a little bit more and utilized it a little bit better and a little bit earlier, but I'm not going to give it a higher entertainment score just because like the last 15 minutes are kind of fun. Nudity, 1.5 out of 3, with a 3.5 out of 10.
That's some horse shit right there. 1.5 for nudity?
Yeah, it was all right. It was fine.
This guy. I wish I could remember all of your nudity ratings and you really challenge.
I wish I could too. I genuinely can't. I might be wrong on it, but I did. Maybe I was so mad at this movie that even boobs couldn't save it.
Dude, I think there's like 2 solid scenes, not just the lake. There's another scene where like it's pretty good. But I think 2. I think Friday the 13th 2 just has Terry.
She's enough.
Well,
She's enough for me.
Yeah.
She's enough.
Yeah.
I love Terry. Terry, if you're listening, I'm still down. But yeah, it gets an actual score of 2 out of 10. I hate this movie. I hate this movie with my soul.
Cool.
On to Friday the 13th, Part 8. Gonna try to speed run this. All right. Oh, cool. I didn't write down my Friday the 13th ratings because I was so mad. Off the top of my head, 0 out of 4 for entertainment, 1 out of 3 for kills, and 1 out of 3 for nudity. So Friday score of 2 out of 10.
All right, that nudity rating is a little questionable. I don't think there's any.
Probably.
I think there's just the.
Is there
girl in
none
the
in
bra.
8? Oh,
no,
okay, 0. I'm fine. Fine, 0.
No,
0 out of 3.
No, they do flash nudity in there once, but yeah.
All right, 0.5. 1.5 out of 10 Friday score, which is still somehow higher than my actual score, which is a 1 out of 10. This is one of the most miserable fucking experiences I've had during this show. There are 3. I texted Josh. There are 3 that are the worst watches for this entire podcast so far. Jason Takes Manhattan, Fant Four Stick, and Black Christmas '06. Those were the 3. Those were the ones that made me want to commit Minecraft. All right.
All right.
On to you.
Oh, wait. What did you give? Did you rate it as a movie?
Yeah, 1 out of 10.
Oh, I missed that. Okay. You gave so many like ones or nuns. I lost what you were.
Very applicable for this piece of shit.
A 1. Wow. Okay.
I hated it.
That's fair. So
I'm not alone either. An 11% on Rotten Tomatoes is crazy low.
Yeah. Nudity, half. 0.5. You got a little flash in there, I guess. 0.5.
Little sneak peek.
1 out of 3 for kills. Get a point for the head. Really on the rooftop. Entertainment, half. Get a half. I mean, 0's crazy. That's crazy. You got to give a little bit for Manhattan. You even said you liked those parts, but I guess you really hated that first hour so much.
Yeah, if I didn't have to take a fucking hour to get there.
I did take an intermission, so maybe that helped. I don't know. And I did watch it at 1.5 speed. That actually helped for some comedy, which is a little unfair.
I don't want to be juvenile, but if you get a hand job for an hour and you still come at the end, like, yeah, you came, but like, was it worth it?
Maybe, I don't know. Was there oil involved? I don't know. Now, if she said dry, then we got problems. But yeah.
Oh my god, they call that dry rub.
As a movie, 1.9.
That's too high.
That's yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is.
There's no merit to this.
1.9. It's yeah. I don't know what you want from me. Like 1 is I've seen what you gave movies. I don't even think 1's really low for you on this show.
Yeah.
That's really low. I think you even gave Fan Four Stick high. No, you didn't.
I forgot what I gave that. Did
You
I
might
give
have
that a
given
0?
You might have gave it a half, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember. That episode's
1.9. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not much to really say about that. It's shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's garbage. Garbage.
I'll start off 9.
Yep.
So
take us home.
9. Nudity, 2 out of 3. Kills, 2 out of 3. Entertainment, 2 out of 4. 6 out of 10 as a Friday movie. Shocked.
Hell yeah.
Shocked. That's, I think, with my Friday 13th Part 3.
Dude, is Part 9 the most underrated Friday movie? I think it might be.
For, like, pure entertainment?
Just as, like, it all around. Like,
I think it's shit. I think it's really, really bad.
But like, even as, like, comparing it to all other Friday movies, it is commonly put as, like, the worst one. Like, so a lot of people put this in last place, and I think that's, at this point, I think that's, like, fucking crazy.
Well, you're gonna hate me now. 1.8.
Oh, God.
Yep, still worse.
It's okay. I used to think you cared about directing and cinematography.
No, not when you have this much shit and ridiculousness and silliness. It's unbelievable. But guess what? I do love it. I love it. But man, it is so bad.
Yeah.
But listen, it's right on par with Manhattan. I could switch those any day. I could go tomorrow and say, flip them.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna give the exact. I'm not even gonna run through them. I'm literally giving the exact same Friday score as Josh. All accounts 2s across the board. So 6 out of 10 Friday score. I think you knocked it out of the park with that one. So I fully agree. And just to speed things up, 6 out of 10 Friday score. As a movie, 3.4 out of 10.
He's stuck with it.
I stuck with it. I stand by it.
That's fair. I like it.
What I value out of like a film going experience. I'm not going to say this movie does well, but there are very, 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 very few times in this series through 9 of these movies where I can actually point to a cinematography choice or an editing choice. Not just something that happened. Not just like, oh, hey, I kind of like that lighting. But like, oh, hey, they made an editing choice. A pre-planned choice of how they were going to edit that scene. They don't do that in this franchise. And it was nice to see them do that. And I still think that the first... Yeah.
Let's say you had all static camera movements and no editing that you picked up on. What would this get?
Probably like a 1.
So those few decisions really bumped it up like 2.5 points.
Oh yeah, it's a dog shit. It's a dog shit script.
Okay,
it's a dog shit script.
I guess I just value it very low. Then I don't know.
I've come to the.
It wasn't noticeable to me. I guess it wasn't noticeable
That's fair.
to me.
No, it again. It's
Except
like
the
it's
diopter
not.
shot. Like that's it. That's all I.
When I saw that, I was shocked. I was like, "What?" In a Friday the 13th movie?
Oh no, that's the original. But is there one in one of the remakes a diopter shot? Or, no, that's just the original.
I don't think so. I think it's the original.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Black Christmas, the original.
Yes, you do.
It.
Yes, you do. I thought I loved it. But not compared to you.
There's times there. Yeah, you thought you loved Scream till you met me.
Yeah, put me to shame.
I may be the biggest original Scream fan of all time. I love that movie. We should talk about doing that movie in January.
Okay.
To lead into the release of 7, because I think that comes out in February of next year.
Cool. I'm down.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fun January release. And that'd be an easy one to split. We could just do 3 and 3.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, and it works because it's like original trilogy, and then like 4. Not that 4 ties into 5 and 6, but sort of, kind of, a little bit, sort of, maybe, not fully, but. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, there's no need to recommend our next franchise because we are closing out our Friday the 13th 4-part series with part 4 in the next episode. We air every 2 weeks on Tuesday. I do apologize. I know it's going to be way down the line when you guys are listening to this. I uploaded the John Wick part 2 episode mad late. I've been like dying for 3 weeks and like can't breathe a lot of the time. I think I have like a respiratory infection. And I've still been going to work. So I uploaded that episode really late. So I apologize for that, guys. I do try to upload every 2 weeks on Tuesday like we are supposed to. But sometimes life gets the best of you. But yeah,
that concert got the best of your lungs.
Yeah. Let's put it this way, guys. Being sick and then going to a heavy metal concert with moshing and a wall of death and crowd surfing, I don't recommend it. I do not recommend it. But yeah, we are closing out the Friday the 13th series with the next episode. As we mentioned earlier in this episode and the previous installments of this series, we are not talking about Freddy vs. Jason. We are saving that for the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise deep dive, which will happen probably a little bit down the line. But yeah, so we are closing it out with Jason X and the 2009 Friday the 13th remake produced by Michael Bay. So excited for that. Excited to see Friday the 13th, the remake. I only watched it once. I hated it. But it does have somehow the highest score in the franchise on Metacritic. So that's a little bit enticing to me. And I may not hate it as much as I used to based on how much I hate some of the later installments that we've covered so far. So
I think you'll be sweet on it, honestly, because looking at what I think 7 and 8 did for 9 to you, I don't know. I think you might like that remake. We'll see.
I really hate the 2000s remake cinematography, though. That fucking ugly ass color grading.
It's really glossy. Like it's very like polished. It seems like it's
overly polished. You use that word sometimes, glossy.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting word.
I mean it in the sense of like polished. Like it's very like clean. Like it's like too clean almost.
Yeah, but you used it for Prisoner of Azkaban.
Got a problem?
I don't quite like you comparing that to Friday the 13th. 2009.
Glossy can be good and bad.
When I think glossy, I think Scream 4, where they rubbed Vaseline over the lenses to give it like a shine. That's what I think glossy is. But all right, guys, we definitely went on too long. I don't know how we did this. We always do this. I keep saying I'm not gonna predict that episodes will be short because they never are. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed listening to this episode. Obviously, check us out, Franchise Deep Dive, over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave a comment on Spotify. If you're listening on YouTube, you're on my personal YouTube channel, former film student. Like I said, we upload every 2 weeks. Josh, if you'd like to plug our socials.
Yeah, guys, give us a follow at Franchise Deep Dive on Instagram. Like, comment, DM us any suggestions you have, any interaction you want to have with us. We'll be happy to take whatever you got for us. Or you can email us at franchisedeepdive@gmail.com. We'll always respond to that. So any engagement is good engagement. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you're enjoying this series. This is more than Jake's dreading it.
Yeah, these fucking suck. I hated this. And this was my idea too. But yeah, so normally, guys, the way we like to close things out before we go is I like to throw a dad joke at Josh. But since I like to innovate, I like to change things, I thought of something that would be a lot more fun for me and would be miserable for Josh. And it's because I know Josh hates to think of an answer on the spot for something. So I've thought of a fun new game where I'm going to ask him an opinionated question and I'm going to give him 20 seconds to answer.
Okay.
All right, Josh, in your opinion, what is the most underrated movie of all time? Ready, set, go.
Oh God. Wow, that is so tough. Oh my God.
10 seconds left.
Jesus.
5 seconds.
Halloween 3.
All right.
Halloween 3.
Halloween 3, baby. Season
It's
of
not
the
even
Witch.
anymore. That would only work like 10, 20 years ago.
No, you've heard it solidified. Josh has said that Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, is the most underrated film of all time.
That's right. And, I'm happy with that answer. That in 20 seconds,
Fair enough. All right, guys. Thank you again for listening to Franchise Deep Dive. We will catch you on the next episode where we close out Friday the 13th. Goodbye.
Later, guys.